eternal hiatus. I turned 27. Holy shit. Anyway, welcome to the Untitled Sickos project. We'll be your hosts for this evening. But first, who the hell are you people?
Oh, fuck. Oops, shit. Fuck, dick. Fuck, shit. Got it. Cool. Yep. Hi, I am the Ordinator of Chaos, the legendary, the guy who's gonna be really an asshole to the Oakland fans. I feel for you guys. I fucking feel bad for you guys.
I feel you guys up.
But it was bound to happen. Alright, who's next?
Hello, I'm the Vegas champion, ladies and gentlemen. I am that champion, that asshole from Vegas, everyone.
He's internet famous.
Yes, and that guy who got featured on ESPN's Instagram account. So, yeah, been a very eventful week or two.
Uh-huh. This guy got a motherfucking ESPN. We're all irrelevant because of
the
it.
Ego, just got the ego now.
Yeah. Yeah, soon I'm gonna be running naked in the streets. That's what's gonna be happening.
Oh god. You're Antonio Brown.
Oh no, it's Antonio Brown.
I'm what every Yinzer dreams of doing, even though I'm not even close to being a Yinzer.
Let's be
One
honest,
day
I
he's
feel
gonna
like we
tweet
need to
out, "I do not
redefine
have
the
an
word
ego."
Yinzer is just hardcore sports fan.
Alright, who's next to introduce?
I think that's you, buddy. You're the last one.
Alright, this is Azasniel, the guy that is always saying that he's got a video coming out and has to wait a whole 6 months for it to come out. But
We
yeah.
swear we swear it's coming.
Yeah, it'll be out when it's out.
No, I have all the clips. All the clips are ready. It's just that I'm too lazy to edit, and BattleBit came out. There's just way too much for me to do.
And alright. No, go ahead.
Alright, and now that we are back, we're gonna be doing
and
this
I'm
more often.
I'm car
but
sausage.
First, one announcement that we are going to make. We are instead of I think the watch along periods have kind of ended for now, unless there's like a massive like Sunday night rivalry type thing.
Or it's like a Whopper Bowl must watch.
A Whopper, or if it's like there's like a shitty thing like the Elks are playing like the fucking I don't know the Argos.
Cubs,
Something-
White Sox.
Something
Over
like
at-
that.
Cubs, White Sox.
Yeah.
we
Feel
just
free to
need
join
White
our...
Sox would actually be good. That would
Uh-huh.
actually be pretty good.
Oh, by the way, even though we may not be doing that anymore, we still do have our Discord, and we still do have Sicko Cabana, so if you want to hear us talk about shitty football, join the fucking Discord, y'all!
Join the Discord if you haven't. We're gonna be doing CFL watch-alongs every Sunday, cause like there's nothing else better to do.
Except make lunches for the next week, but I digress!
We won't be live streaming. The games won't be live. They're gonna be like the games that happen Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all those ones. Cause
Holy crap! We have 2 chat messages already.
I am not paying for CFL Plus. It's like $200. There's no benefits. I don't even get like the NBA pass, so I'm not paying $200.
Mixtape Ninja says we need to even out our audio levels.
Oh, I do. I need to bring.
Who wants to watch the CFL for some mid-offs? Although, to be honest, that would be some great
I need to
content.
balance it out a little bit. I think it's
sorry I'm
we
being
should-
too loud.
It's okay.
We should watch the CFL while high. That's what's gonna happen.
But anyways, we're gonna be watching the CFL. We're gonna be watching. We're gonna be watching the CFL. It's probably happening about 1 p.m. every Sunday at Pacific Standard Time on the Discord server, and then we're probably gonna do like a less long shows, like try to keep it under 2 hours. But tonight's gonna be hard because.
Look at our to-do pile. It's fucking big.
It's kind of fucking big. We're gonna start off with taking the first piece of paper off, and that is the welcome mat. And we have quite the tale. Quite Details. For those who are unaware, the Oakland Athletics are, it's like 99% happening. They are moving to Las Vegas. And oh boy, I'm going to, Spencer and I are going to tackle at this from two different angles, and you can kind of try, if Ozza or Nick, you guys have anything, you can chime in, but I'm going to start. I'll try to keep it brief. Pour one out for Oakland sports fans. This has been a city that has lost a dynasty, a football team, and a baseball team. All who have had rabid fans for a while now. For years and years to come. The fact that it's how Oakland has lost these teams, all these teams that have really struck an anger chord, especially in one of our members. Pour one out for Aiden. The guy is really down, really down. So if you just give him some support for us.
I'm sure he's taking commissions at this point, so if you want to throw a couple bones at him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it's not looking good.
Yeah. Help the guy out. And just any fan that's, especially Oaklanders, just pat him on the back, because you feel for them. It's how, the Golden State Warriors were a dynasty and left in the middle of it to their rich rival in San Francisco. This is a team that has lost the Oakland Raiders, who had to stay, who you knew they were going, but still stayed in the city for 2 years. And a team that is like the stunt that John Fisher pulled might have just been the worst on this giant crap sandwich. You look down at it, it makes sense why Oakland needs a new stadium. Everyone in this world, most sports fans in North America can 100% agree that Oakland needs a new stadium. Absolutely, we do. But what's the problem? One of the problems that, we kind of countered, that the city runs at a deficit. They can't give taxpayer dollars to help fund a new stadium. Most owners nowadays want the New York Yankees deal. Do you want to know what the Yankees deal was? Their stadium was funded 99% taxpayer money. Now we've seen more deals kind of be more balanced out, where the owner's probably paying about 65% for new stadiums.
Not to brag, but US Bank Stadium fully paid off, babies.
It is,
Go!
but used by taxpayer money. At the end of the day,
lottery doesn't count.
I know, but still, taxpayer money on gambling. Mm-hmm. Gotta make that a proven point.
Okay. I'm gonna voice out something.
Yeah. Go voice something. I need to gather English words. I gotta read what I want to say next.
The thing about why the Yankees deal is was gonna succeed, like 100% with taxpayer money with 99%, was because the Yankees are a part of the culture in New York, right? They are part of New York in a sense of, if the Yankees are gone, a part of New York is gone, right? You guys understand that?
Yeah, you can imagine just the backlash, but this is a franchise that's worth billions.
Yeah,
it's a franchise that's worth billions. The Yankees. I don't understand. There would be so much backlash.
But think about it. Would you want to see the Yankees be in another city?
It would be impossible. I don't think in good faith as an owner I could ever move the Yankees to a different city.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's worth noting regarding the Yankees.
Yeah, no one will want that, and New York wouldn't want that either. That's why they paid all that money in order to keep that New York culture, that
Yeah, but
that
that's still
New York
that's still
identity.
taxpayer money that's going towards a stadium that most
Oh, here's the
fans
thing.
aren't Yankees. Most people in New
There's
York aren't Yankees fans. Some of them are
there's
Mets
a
fans.
reason. There's a reason the Yankees are worth $6 billion.
They're
Say that.
America's team.
They're the
It's
richest baseball team for a reason.
It's not just that, but they are probably one of the most recognized brands in sports. Like I've worked with a lot of people. I go, they wear Yankees hat. I was like, oh hey, are you a fan of the Yankees? They look at me like, oh I just have this hat. I don't know what sport it is or what say or name it is. It's just the most common sports apparel that's worn worldwide. From the New York, from the from North America.
Yeah.
It's the Yankees, the most recognizable brand in North American sports.
And I mean, you will want to keep the most recognizable brand in your city, right? It's marketable. Like maybe New York makes more money off keeping the Yankees in the city with that deal. I mean, you never know. There's could be layers upon layers in politics and finances. You don't know. So yeah,
I mean, if it
more
is,
than
I still think that if you're an owner that's worth billions and billions of dollars and can mostly fund a new stadium, 99% of it shouldn't be taxpayer money. That's just how I see it. That's kind of shittier. Because the Buffalo, right? It's most of it's being funded by the Pagulas. Arizona, like they've been keeping like the dead horse alive in Arizona. Was like mostly like 85% of it was funded by the ownership group, and they were gonna clean up a landfill on top of that. So it was a really good deal for the city of Arizona. Even with John Fisher, the fact that he has to pay for about 75% of this is mind-numbingly astonishing that he's paying that much out of his own pocket for the stadium. I just feel like the Yankees kind of fucked the city over. I'm not gonna lie.
sure what to say. I mean, this thing, Oakland is a very interesting case in which the city is in a very dire position,
Mm-hmm.
not in terms of the athletics, but in terms of if you look a little bit more deeper than the sport, in terms of architecture and just how the city is run. The city is in a very big state of decline, right? The homelessness is running rampant in Oakland, and it's really bad. And more funds have to be poured into helping out the city than the team, right? So
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
the city next list.
I
So
absolutely agree with you. I 100% agree.
now, now with Tempe with the Coyotes. Tempe is actually much more. Has a lot more revenue, and they put it into good use, right? Homelessness, I think, is very low in Tempe, and I I know a lot of rich families live in Tempe. This a- and middle class, right? And lower class families can do well in Tempe as well. The thing of why Tempe there's a big reason why Tempe didn't want the, the Coyotes. Yeah, rather have a toxic landfill than a stadium there. It is a bad. It seems like a bad thing, but when you look at it more closely and just kind of how Tempe residents feel, I feel like it's more like what we have been doing has been working in this suburb for so long that we do not want to change the chemistry of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it- like putting a stadium could either better things or worsen things, but we're not going to take that risk, especially with a franchise run like the Coyotes, right? Which
Hmm.
and I think they did the right choice, right? I think it would have been a detriment if the Coyotes actually moved to Tempe. I think it would have been a detriment to the residents of Tempe. So yeah,
I mean, my
it's
thing with
that's
that, I think with Tempe is like, I think it really speaks volumes. It really speaks volumes to just how bad the Coyotes' reputation has gotten in parts of Arizona. That's how I really see it, because their
Yeah,
reputation's gotten really bad.
that shit's in the toilet, man.
And like they did not want to be associated with basically one of the most, I would say, like most chaotic franchises in sports right now in the Coyotes with their arena situation.
Yeah, I mean, Tree even recently uploaded a video about it. You look at the string of owners that they've had. This just
The thing is that the other thing is that I think Gary Bettman would never give the team to a Saudi Arabian enterprise
no.
or,
He give
or
it to a he give it to Saudi Arabian enterprise if it meant that they're staying in Arizona.
yeah. But the thing why is that he has way too much pride on giving it to a Saudi Arabian, and Gary Bettman, trust me, is not a very nice guy.
Wait a
All right.
second. Wasn't this about the Oakland Athletics?
Yeah, this is the
So
ADD brain getting off track, but it's okay. We'll get back
we're
back
changing
on
between
track.
the two. We're changing between the two.
Yeah.
So yeah. Although I do wish for someone with oil money to buy the White Sox, please. Pretty
And Bulls.
please. And the Bulls, yes. But yeah, it's Soxland has not been in good spirits these days. So.
Yeah. As getting back to the Oakland A's, kind of the biggest point that I really feel is most important for even just sports fans in Oakland. It's this. They know the city runs at a deficit. They know there's a rampant homeless problem, and there's money that genuinely needs to be elsewhere. That's elsewhere. There's no need for them to fund a new stadium. Yes, Oakland Coliseum is a fucking shithole. It is the worst stadium in North American sports. Yes, Oakland needs a new city. It's just these owners, like the Warriors left and there was not a tear shed. And then they had a dynasty. Raiders, when they left, it's not a good look for Oakland. The fact that they were still in Oakland while their new stadium was being built. That is like breaking up with your girlfriend and you're still living together for 2 years while you're waiting on buying a new house. Are those good scenarios? No, they are not. And even with the Athletics, like I said earlier, might have just been the worst way possible where it's not even the fact that they can just leave like one lasting impression on the city that is, hey, maybe like here's another World Series run. This was for you, Oakland. No, John Fisher gutted this team, made it the lowest payroll in all of North American sports. Lower than the NHL's floor for the salary cap. They did not spend on any free agents. They traded all their players away, what seems to be for a mere pittance, and they made the most money out of any team at the end of it. And look at the attendance that was there. I mean, I watched some people going to vlogs in the Oakland Coliseum. Dude, how could not John Fisher put in 10 million of the profit just to make it a slightly better experience? No, the stadium's rotting away. The stories that you hear from Oakland Coliseum, we're talking pests in the announcer booth.
I can't forget the possum.
The possum man.
I don't know. I think I personally think Oakland Coliseum is and has been a lost cause.
It is.
They're like the last stadium that still utilizes that multi-use layout where you can.
Not since the Raiders have left. It's just been single use.
No, I mean it can be configured that way. It's
Yeah. Configuration 100%. It's the last of the multi-purpose stadiums. Yeah.
Yeah. It's ugly.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna be real with the Coliseum. It has been going to shit ever since Mount Davis got built. That is the reality of it.
Right there in 1996.
Mm-hmm.
Right when I was born. Oops.
No need
You
for
just kind of,
self-worth.
at the end of the day, you just kind of wish, I really
I wasn't
hope
born.
that this is the last year the Athletics are playing in Oakland. Like, use the minor league, use fucking Cashman.
You think
I would not have the Athletics in Oakland again. They've burnt all their goodwill and capital. And the last point I kind of
Yeah.
want to make, as much as people want John Fisher to sell the team and to keep them in Oakland, who is gonna spend between $4 and $5 billion on this team?
I mean, the only guy I can think of in terms of the Bay Area is the Warriors owner, but unfortunately, I think that time is past, unfortunately.
It is, and the Warriors are in San Francisco now, so there's that. That's kind of the thing too. I feel for Oakland fans. I really do. They really got the shit end of the stick in terms of sports teams, while their rich neighbor in San Francisco had a dynasty football team, got their dynasty in the basketball team.
To be fair, most of the Warriors dynasty of the mid 2010s,
Was it in
that
Oakland?
happened. Yeah, it happened in
Yeah.
Oakland.
It
Yeah,
did
but that's
happen.
still,
It
they
happened at
moved in the
Oracle.
middle of a dynasty. They didn't wait for the dynasty to end. It was right in the middle of it. And even I bet you have they won more championships in San Francisco, or have they won more championships in Oakland?
More in Oakland.
Okay,
Yeah, more in Oakland,
okay,
so
you have
there's
at least
that.
that.
They only won one in San Francisco so far.
But still, they lost their dynasty to San Francisco.
I
Like,
mean, I'll say this, and this is the lost part of the A's like relocation stories that, all of this could have been avoided had they just been able to relocate to San Jose a decade ago. That needs to be said. Because the
That
Giants
was-
were a big reason why that didn't happen, and also the previous commissioner of Major League Baseball was a big part of that too.
So yeah,
basically,
fuck the Giants.
Rob Manfred is basically continuing the trend that Bud started, basically.
I will say one thing is that despite all the bad things happening in Oakland, I have a little bit of hope for something else. As you know, there have been rumors of expansions of adding 2 extra teams.
I don't think they're gonna expand in Oakland. They can't fund a new stadium. Why expand in Oakland if you can't
yeah.
fund a new sports stadium?
Wait, which one are we talking about? Which sport are we talking about?
MLB.
Yeah, no.
Why did they go
It's-
back to Oakland?
No, no. Here's the thing.
Fresh start.
Unless it's a 100% funded stadium by MLB, they're not touching Oakland. They are not gonna touch Oakland. Well, you're gonna have them play in You're gonna have them play in Oakland Coliseum for 10 to 15 years while you wait
I'll
till
say
the
this.
city improves. No.
Let me say this. I'll say this. If there is any league that would go to Oakland, it would most likely be the MLS. That would be
Agreed.
the most likely league because they
Agreed.
go anywhere.
Oh yeah.
And personally, I don't think that there should be anybody moving there. I think that they should redevelop that area into, affordable housing, which people in the Bay Area need.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's not like Oakland is like the U.S. government where they can afford many deficits and stuff. They are genuinely like hanging
in
on to
the
a
shit
rope.
can. It's unless there's somebody that's going to buy an expansion team, say, hey, I'll buy the land, I'll fund it all myself, and if the city still says no, that is just I'll be dumbfounded by that.
Yeah, well, I'll
Alright.
say this. Should I talk about it? Should I talk about it from the Las Vegas perspective?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
considering.
Before you start, I have a question before you start. Now,
Sure.
with this, shouldn't Las Vegas had a how Tempe had a vote at the end to see if they stayed? Did Vegas have the same thing?
No.
No, because it went to the Nevada legislature.
Senate.
Yeah, Nevada Senate, and it got signed there by the Senate and also the other houses and the governor. So yeah.
Wow. And
Yes.
now Nick, As you go on about through your perspective, I do want to know a little bit more of kind of also how would this affect you as a person that lives in Las Vegas as well. So
All right. Well, in terms of in terms of the Las Vegas perspective in this situation, on one hand, it is very nice that we are gain another sports team. I can handle gain a baseball team. That's pretty cool. From that perspective, it is pretty cool that we're gaining a baseball team. However, the reason why this has definitely caused a lot of public division with this situation is obviously the common situation that has become a very controversial topic over the past decade and so, public taxpayer money being used for a stadium. And I feel like a big reason why there's more backlash for this now than there was even a couple of years ago with Allegiant Stadium is, Allegiant Stadium I think had the distinction of being our first true major stadium that's not an arena, which, because for those, and this should be stated because it does provide further context for why I feel like a lot more fans are not as forgiving of the A's in this, is because T-Mobile Arena, for example, T-Mobile Arena, that was privately funded. All of it was privately funded. So, obviously, that's a good start in terms of the relationship between the Golden Knights and taxpayers. Then you got the Raiders, who of course come into town with Allegiant Stadium, and if I remember correctly, that got like 750 million in taxpayer dollars, which was a lot. That's a good amount. I'm pretty sure that was like 40% of the total project that got funded by public dollars there. So I mean, there is a bit more for it is a bit more forgiveness because it is our first major stadium, it is our first true like giant stadium. But at the same time, it's like, okay, we really unloaded the banks here for this. Okay, so our next stadium, I would like to ease a bit back on the public spending. And I will say this, to be fair, on the public spending side of things for the A's Vegas Stadium, compared to a lot of other stadium deals, it's not that bad. Because honestly, in terms of percentage of a project going, or the project needing public spending, it's more around just like 25%, which honestly, compared to a lot of deals we have seen over the years, that's a really good deal. Now, the problem, the problem is that many us Vegas natives have also become aware of the situation and the fact that even with that percentage, a lot of us are still definitely not so pleased about our taxpayer dollars going to this project. Obviously, noting how much we spent on Allegiant Stadium, but also considering Nevada has issues on stuff like education and stuff, and considering how our legislative sessions are like the shortest in the nation, there's not exactly a great time period in order to spend our taxpayer dollars and actually get shit done. And it does not help that the owner we are giving this money to is an infamous cheap ass. And I know what some people are going to say. I know what some of the narratives will be, and one of the big narratives that I have noticed is that, oh, well, John will change his ways once he gets to Vegas. He'll start spending a lot. The A's will become respectable again. And it's like, you know who else I heard people say? I remember people saying the Raiders would become a lot more respectable when they went to Vegas. The complete opposite of that has happened. And I can tell you right now, shit like the controversies from the Raiders 2021 season, even after making the playoffs, that has not helped the relationship with Vegas. And honestly, it's a big reason, or at least part of the reason, why the Raiders have so much trouble drawing Vegas locals to their games. Not to mention how expensive the games themselves are. So, when you consider that, and then I have to chime in, I had to add what Bryce Harper had to say about this, because it needs to be said with this. Bryce Harper is a Vegas legend around here because he came from the Vegas area. He played high school baseball at Las Vegas High School, then played college ball at College of Southern Nevada. So he is well known here in Vegas. He is a Vegas baseball legend. And like his quotes really, I feel like really do sum it up for sum up how a lot of Las Vegans feel. Because He said he feels bad for the A's and their fans. Like, he feels bad for them. Like, it's cool. It is cool that Vegas is getting a baseball team. But at the same time, you know, does it really need to come at the expense of Oakland and their fans? Does it need to come at the expense of how badly they have been getting treated? And I feel like Bryce Harper really summed up a lot of feelings in terms of how, Vegas citizens they feel and stuff. Now, in terms of like taxpayer dollars and stuff, it's like in my perspective, it's like it's not the worst deal. Honestly, far I've said it before, but far from the worst deal. But what really irks me, what really grinds my gears is how the A's keep saying, "Oh yeah, tourists will cover that tax bill very easily. That will not be a problem with how many tourists will get showing to our games." And the thing is, of course, when it's something like I don't know, like like the Yankees or Dodgers play against the A's, which, goddamn, Yankees fans in Vegas, that will be an experience right there. Um, like, yeah, of course, that will get a lot of tourists into the stadium, into the stands and stuff. But like, if you're talking about a series like I don't know, like fucking Kansas City or something, like the Royals playing against the A's in Las Vegas, it's like you really think you're gonna get that many tourists here to watch a Royals game against the A's? Like, you really think that's gonna happen? And it's like, look, I get that over time, yes, it should, the taxpayer dollars should get paid off, but at the same time, it's like something feels very, very suspicious about this. And I think it should also be noted that the rumored stadium capacity is 30,000, which, yeah, that definitely would make it the smallest stadium in baseball. And look, I'm okay with MLB teams making their stadiums smaller because honestly, this is just my opinion here. I don't think MLB stadiums need to be as big as they really are.
Yeah.
Because, you're only filling like half the stadium basically every game. So, like, I can understand wanting to make it smaller, but in the terms of, using our taxpayer dollars for this, it definitely does give Las Vegans a good reason to have bad vibes about this project. And it should also be noted that I've heard rumors, and this shouldn't surprise anyone, that the A's, it's very likely that John Fisher's going to sell a stake in the Oakland A's. It's very likely that's going to happen, which isn't a surprise considering the way John Fisher runs this baseball team like a Chinese sweatshop. That doesn't surprise me, and I don't know who would buy it. I don't know who would buy their stake in the team. I mean, God forbid Tom Brady wants to get more minority sports ownership or something, but yeah, it's just from the Las Vegas perspective, it's like it's not the end of the world or anything. It's not like, God, this is an atrocity of a deal, but like, it's just I hate it for Oakland. Like, I really do
Yeah.
hate it for Oakland. I feel like
Uh,
that's a
Because, like, in terms
yeah.
of a deal, it's actually, like, a really fucking good deal. Like, it's not a major. Like, it's still, like, yeah, still, sure, taxpayer dollars is still going into it. But it's not like you guys are paying. I think the original one was like he wanted to fund 66% of it, which the legislation denied. And you had to up it
Yeah.
to about 75.
I
75,
remember the original was
seventy-seven
like
percent So,
I remember the original was like over 500 million or something,
yeah.
and like yeah, and it's also I should probably talk about the location as well, because it will be like the location of the A's Las Vegas Stadium will be on the current site of the Tropicana Hotel and Casino, which is one of the more like the Tropicana Hotel and Casino. It's one of the more legendary casinos here in Vegas in terms of being an old casino because it is one of the oldest, more classic casinos here in Vegas, and of course with the A's new stadium, that is very likely to be getting demolished because, of course, in the agreement with Bally's, they're gonna be taking over the site and making, you know, God knows what they want to do with that, considering they're building the stadium. But I think it's also worth noting because the location-wise is very important here because on one hand, traffic is going to be absolute hell in this area. I mean, it's one of the like I get why. I do it needs to be said. I get why the A's chose this location because it's on the boulevard, it's on the corner of Tropicana and Las Vegas Boulevard, which as a Las Vegan, I can confirm is basically it is the busiest intersection of Las Vegas. Like, that is the busiest area in Las Vegas, only rivaled by Flamingo and Las Vegas Boulevard, which is right down the street. So they're picking basically a very heavily, tourist area to put their stadium. So I can understand that part of the agreement in terms of the location. Now, of course, I already noted traffic and stuff. That's going to be a pain in the ass. But it is not that far from. Well, it's right near T-Mobile Arena, and it's not really that far from Allegiant Stadium. So, I do wonder, especially considering the rumored NBA arena that's coming to Vegas in a couple of years, or well, rumored to be in development, which is also not that far from Allegiant Stadium. I do wonder if Las Vegas is basically planning some sort of stadium district or something.
By the way, if you guys do get the NBA team, my first choice for a team name is probably the Las Vegas Caesars.
Ah, the
That would be
Caesar
very
salads.
interesting. Las Vegas Caesars.
Anyway, did you finish saying your piece, Nick? I'm sorry I interrupted.
No, it's fine. I think that's good enough.
All right, cause here's the part where I get to talk about stuff like history and urban politics. Oh boy! So, for the sake of our story, as far as Oakland goes, as far as Oakland sports goes, we need to go back to all the way to 1959, when the AFL had just had their draft, and then one of their teams got a counter offer from the NFL, and decided to deflect over there and play for them instead of the AFL. That team, as you might know, became the Minnesota Vikings, and so the AFL is scrambling for a new team at this point. So, and also, the owner of the Los Angeles Chargers is threatening to fold his franchise if he doesn't get another West Coast franchise. And I guess instead of going to like Portland or Seattle, they decided to go to Oakland, or more specifically, they promised they'd be in Oakland in a few years because, surprise, they didn't have a stadium there, and they actually had to be at places like Candlestick for a little while because they didn't have anything built. But luckily for them, the city of Oakland just got a piece of land from the Port of Oakland in exchange for a different piece of land that was on the San Leandro Bay. And in 1967, they decided to build a baseball, football's hybrid stadium on the grounds. And wouldn't you believe it, they had enough room on there to build a basketball stadium so they could fit these teams, the Golden State Warriors and the Oakland Seals, funny enough. And, this was seen as a really good idea, a really big thing, because back in the 1950s, all the suburban development was happening in places like Oakland or Berkeley or along the San Pablo Bay or Concord or Vallejo, places like that. And basically, people say, yeah, that's a great idea. It'll get these bad teams out of the Cow Palace, which, for the record, say what you will about Oracle Arena, honestly, I think the Cow might have been even worse. So, everybody's happy, hunky-dory for a while, and then the 80s come, and Steve Jobs comes along with this really cool thing called the personal computer, uh, and basically that kickstarts a whole bunch of really big money and a lot of development between San Francisco and San Jose. People will later call that area Silicon Valley, but basically they got the prediction of like the San Pablo Bay and Oakland being the main sleeper community for San Francisco completely wrong, and as a result, they didn't have the money to fund new luxury boxes for Al Davis's Oakland Raiders stadium. Um, so they decide, so the Raiders decide to sue the city of Oakland. They offer a countersuit. Davis wins, and they end up moving to LA for a while. And then there's a few more failed Raiders stadiums in there, including one that would have been where SoFi Stadium is now, and one that, believe it or not, would have been on what is now the factory of Sriracha. So, yeah, what a weird thing. But eventually, Al Davis is tired of being rejected by all these LA places. Oakland is tired of being footballless. So in 1995, it's agreed that, in exchange for getting their team back, they will promise to build new stadiums on new seats and luxury boxes at the Coliseum, and that's kind of what we know today as Mount Davis, which was started in 1995 and finished out in 1996. Anyway, a few more decades come along with this somewhat okay, rift between people. The Raiders are there, they're happy with it, but they feel like if they could do something better. And the A's, they're understandably not very happy with what they got because, hey, we got, this team, they could, look what the Giants got in San Francisco. So this is where a lot of dominoes start falling because, basically, the Mark Davis complains to the NFL that it's not safe to play Raiders games at the Coliseum, and this is 2013, and at this point, a lot of proposals are put forward, including one which would have had the 49ers and Raiders both play at Levi Stadium, which you can imagine how well that would have gone. Before eventually they decided to move to Las Vegas to become the Raiders. And basically, because, Oakland couldn't afford it because they weren't getting the suburban development they wanted. And the Warriors weren't happy with where they were. And there was a recently open piece of abandoned warehouses downtown just off the wharf, so they decided to go over there. And obviously, when the thing about multi-purpose stadiums, even though it can do football and baseball, it just doesn't do them well. And and it's really just this messy sort of things. And the Athletics weren't doing well to begin with. And so basically we're in the situation now where they just want to get the hell out because they know Oakland doesn't have the money to do anything. They don't have the money to make it beyond, the basic principles of presentable, and rather than have a really ugly gridlock impasse, they decided, let's just go to Las Vegas or somewhere where they can afford to take care of us, and that's kind of where we're at now, and it's all because the birth of Silicon Valley. Sorry if that was a bit disjointed.
I get it. I get it. It's Oakland couldn't develop itself into a city that couldn't develop itself into a thriving city that it needed to hold all three of these franchises. Yeah, I 100%. I absolutely see that. 1,000%.
If Steve Jobs got that idea of what if people had computers in Oakland or El Sobrante instead of San Bruno or Redwood City, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah, I agree. What is just so frustrating is even with, three major sports franchises, the city never was able to, turn itself into a thriving environment. Just a thriving city without a rampless homelessness problem. It's basically worse than Vancouver.
Yeah, there's a bunch of and if you look at a map of it, there's all these freeways and interstates just completely slicing it like a watermelon and fruit ninja. There's the 880, the 580, the 980. It's a fucking spaghetti of a mess.
It's a spaghetti bowl, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is. All I can say is just pour one out for your Oakland fans. Just pour one out, pray for them, hug them, do whatever you need to do.
It is oak over, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I hope I gave the situation the respect it deserves.
I wanted to be toxic, but I was like, no, I should be nice. I feel for them, but just.
And I hope I wasn't too boring of a nerd with my fucking.
No, it's
actually
factually the city couldn't get itself into a state where, yeah, we absolutely can have these teams in fun new stadiums, but no. I cannot. And as for, do we expand and bring teams back into Oakland? No. There's more important things than sports. The last thing I would like Oakland to do is to just kick the Athletics out of Oakland Coliseum. Remove them. Get them to Vegas.
And maybe tear down some of those freeways. Just a thought. Put in more BARTs and buses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting more into my urban plano mode.
It's all good. It's all
fuck, I'm nerding out.
Okay, Alan Fisher.
It's all good. It's all good. Anywho,
so
that was 50 minutes.
That was depressing.
That was 50 minutes, and we got one item off the fucking stack.
That was 50 minutes of talking about a city's funeral.
We have so much more to talk about.
Yeah,
Holy
that man. Holy fuck, that was
huge.
all depressing. Oh my god.
Let's have a little bit more lighthearted discussion, I believe.
Yeah, it's me and Nick. We're playing each other there in the Chaos League Season 2 of the playoffs, so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't even touch on all the minor teams like the Oakland Oaks or the There's a whole story of that where they eventually become the Albuquerque Isotopes in 2002.
Translation: get your asses Just become a thriving city, Oakland, please. Don't become
Anyway,
don't become Skid Row. All right,
can you
so
believe the NFL draft happened?
yeah, but
We totally didn't wait too long on that one.
holy shit, we wanted to talk about the. Oh boy, so everybody, man, the draft felt like such like so recent, you know. It felt that felt like it happened just like yesterday.
Because we didn't procrastinate.
We didn't. I didn't start picking up like working 7 days a week. You know, I definitely.
I for sure, like didn't get like burned out by a basic 9 to 5. No, sir.
Nope, not at all. We didn't do that. That did not happen. Anyways, NFL draft that went by. The Philadelphia Eagles are now the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah.
The Eagles brass was holding a giant fist as we took their backup running back in the 7th round because they couldn't take him.
And also we have our new GOAT, our new Jerry Rice, our new ultimate player, Jake motherfucking Bobo is a Seattle Seahawk.
He's still in Seattle. I haven't heard him getting cut. He's still there. That's good. We'll see if he can make the final roster. And
change of topic or change of sports. In a way, it's gonna be very interesting. So I was taking out the trash right now, and I passed by my TV, and I see that U.S. and Mexico's men's soccer federations are facing each other in Vegas.
Yep.
And then I look at Twitter, and Macwell is like, "This is my 9/11," and it's Greg Berhalter is back as USA's manager.
Yeah, I
Like,
saw
oh
that.
my god!
I
It
saw
is
that shit.
so it's bad.
So how we have two Bears fans here. How do you guys think the NFL draft went?
I liked it.
I liked it. Yeah, it was not bad.
All our
Like,
draft picks have been signed now, so yeah, that's really
yeah.
good.
The other thing is that it's scheme fits and yeah, it feels like no, I don't want to say Moneyball, but it feels like they've looked way a little bit beyond the film and looked at okay, there's a reason, there's a reason why this person probably didn't perform as well, and this person probably didn't perform as well. We can take off those reasons and get them to their max potential. That
Yep.
with Jervon Dexter is one of them, and I think Tyler Scott can be the other one. The
Yeah,
other guy we
agreed.
drafted in the second pick in the second round is the same as well, right? So I have a lot of high hopes riding on this Bears team, absolutely. Now
Yep.
the stadium though is
Yeah, maybe we should talk about the stadium.
yeah, we're all
so
up
as a
in.
Chicago native, this is huge, right? Especially with knowing traffic and everything. Arlington Heights is far. It's I would never go there for any other reason other than if the Bears were there, right? Um, Now if they're in talks with the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson. Um, that is a weird thing right now because Brandon Johnson is a very, very, very progressive mayor, so he can do anything.
Yeah.
Right? He's very it's very not chaotic. It's like we're not even sure what he can do in his position. Then came Naperville, and when I heard Naperville, me and a lot of other fans were like, Jesus Christ, these Napervillians, these Napervillians, if the Bears go to Naperville, these Napervillians are gonna claim that they're from Chicago even though they're not, and we're gonna fucking hate it. And then keep walking. I was like, oh my god, now it's gonna be Skokie, it's gonna be Evanston, it's gonna be Cicero, like, it's all these, like, at this point, actually, like, there's gonna be a bid for, like, every Chicagoland suburb there's gonna be a bid for to have the Bears Stadium, and I'm gonna love every second of it. Right?
You know where I think they should put it? That big ass piece of abandoned land down in South Chicago, the old
Oh no!
steelworks.
Someone said Chicago Heights. I was like, hell no.
I'm
That
just
place is
I'm laughing at this because genuinely I have not been to Chicago in over a decade, and I still relate to all of this.
yeah no. Someone said Chicago Heights. I was like, there's no way. The crime in Chicago Heights is even worse than in Chicago. It's like, come on.
Like
But
I
yeah, no,
said, South Chicago, right on the lake.
what Chicago is could work, right? The problem is traffic, and instead of, that's not gonna be Chicago's team. That's gonna be Gary, Indiana's team. That
Gary,
Yeah, but
Indiana.
like it's right next to the Metra and right next to
oh
the.
yeah, oh yeah, it is. But one of them that I was also saying was where Ford City Mall is. Um, so Ford City Mall is kind of a legendary mall right now. From back then, from the '90s, '80s, '90s, it was a very popular mall in very close to Cicero. It's on the outskirts of Chicago, by Midway Airport.
Yeah, they were talking about extending the Orange Line there a while back.
Yeah. So now I went to there's a movie theater. I went to the movie theater by there to see Spider-Man, right? I look at it and it's depressing, right? Because I have such vivid child and great childhood memories of the place, and now it's just depressing. No one goes there, right? And it and yet it's a perfect place to have a stadium. Like
Oh
I'm
yeah.
serious because there is a lot of retail still around Fort City Mall. Right, there's a lot of retail around there, and traffic. Yeah, it's gonna be a problem, but there is that street that street with like no lights from Pulaski to Cicero, right? That is a whole mile. You have a whole mile street with no lights. That's huge, right? You got Cicero itself. The big problem is the airport traffic. You're gonna have the airport traffic, and then you're gonna have the stadium traffic. If you think it's hell to get to a Bears game, it's gonna be even more hell to get to a Fort City Bears game at that point.
But like I
Disaster.
said, very easy solution to that. Just extend the Orange Line.
Yeah, the Orange Line wood is absolutely huge. Um, and not only that, but Orange Line is actually a very short line, so giving them a little giving them that extended line is huge, not only for the stadium, but for the
For the
college.
system.
Yeah, that and the college actually around it. So there's a city college by Fort City, which is Richard Daley. That would be huge for commuters going there because they don't have to stop at Pulaski anymore. They can stop at the new station. There are ways to solve this. The problem is there's still small businesses in the mall, but I'm thinking that they are looking for a way out because a lot of them are on like long-term leases that they wish they could get out of. So yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, a lot of them are like really sketchy, like you
Oh
know,
yeah.
like grandma's really good
There's a
imported blankets.
Yeah.
if there's anything I want that they keep from Fort City Mall to the Bear Stadium is the Auntie Anne's. Please keep the Auntie Anne's. That shit's goaded.
Yes,
Please.
based.
That's
Yeah, based on the ends.
Yeah, I do
please.
This
want to say I want to say something regarding malls because yeah, I can experience the vibes because like I have a mall right down the street from where I live, like literally because I live 10 minutes east of the strip and stuff. So because today while I was going to get the trying to get a Golden Knights jersey, I went to my mall down the street and I went to the mall on the strip, which is the Fashion Show Mall, and I can tell you right now that the vibes between the two malls, the Fashion Show Mall, the one on the strip, and the Boulevard Mall, which is right by me, god damn, the vibes were a lot different from the two, because it's like, god damn, so much, I mean, I expect a lot more people at Fashion Show, because it's on the damn strip, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, my mall is not the same it used to be. Not like it used to be.
Malls
Oh
have been
yeah.
a big
I we
decline.
had in Chilliwack we had two malls. One of them's got torn down. But yeah, it's any malls are just dying, man.
I don't know. Maybe I just live in upside down world here in Grand Rapids, but like, uh, 2 out of our 3 malls are doing great. Like,
Now, that's where I want to go with why malls are dying in cities is because people don't really need
Online
people in big cities
shopping.
don't need a mall, right? There's online shopping, and then there's big general, corporate shopping like Walmart and
Hmm.
Target, right? Where
Yeah.
you can go to instead.
well, personally, I still
Target
like
and
going to
Has
the
a
mall
lot of
because
stores.
like,
I mean, you're right. I don't hate go. Like, here's the thing. I feel like if I'm going to a mall, it's because I'm willingly going to a mall. Not
yeah.
because like I don't want to be forced to go to a mall, and mostly it's just because I want to see what it looks like on the inside.
Yeah.
Well,
No, the
there's some shit that I do at the mall, like J.C. Penney. For those that don't know, I'm kind of on the I'm kind of like a jar of peanut butter. I'm big and chunky.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's quite the way to describe it.
Anyway, the reason why I think Grand Rapids has a successful mall market is because what I'm betting is that not a lot of corporations are willing to go to Grand Rapids yet, right?
yeah, we
That's
just
just
got our first Dunkin' Donuts like last year, if that's
exactly.
any indication.
Holy
Instead,
shit.
small, smaller corporations, smaller stores will that are in the malls will thrive because there's no big corporations yet. Once Target and Walmart were more of a general store that has everything in one building, compact, come in, malls are gonna start dying out. Why would you go to a mall that has a ton of stores but takes a long time to walk through, right? I mean,
See,
like,
that's the weird thing. Like, for us, it's not like the mall stores that are dying. It's like
The
the
rent is rather
no,
quite
it's like the
ridiculous.
no, for us, the stores that are dying are like Bed Bath and Beyond, or like Hobby Lobby, or like the Burlington Coat Factory, even. Like that's
Burlington?
the
What?
yeah, Burlington. They
Oh no,
they just
no.
downsized their building, and
I don't know. Burlington's here in Chicago. Burlington is a weird one because Burlington is an absolute necessity for a lot of families here, but
uh,
there is it's not full, or rather, you see very little people at a time, like 20, 50, 25 to 50 people at a time. You probably see at a
yeah.
Burlington. So, but I love Burlington because they have a lot of cool clothes at a very cheap price.
Like I said, Grand Rapids isn't fucking upside down land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to stay with my mall. I want to comment saying like, yeah, like the two main things that people go to for like my mall. Well, three main things is we have a theater, we have a movie theater, we have an aquarium, and number three, we have a Goodwill because of course it's gonna be a Goodwill.
But
Mm.
you
Goodwill
have
is
Goodwills in your mall?
Yeah.
Yep.
now
Ours are usually standalone, and they're like, like
the reason why I think the mall in Vegas that Nick is talking about is kind of still doing very well is because that mall is kind of a
it's a
trend in
tourist
Vegas.
trap.
In a way, a tourist trap, but a trend as well, right? Like, what are tourists gonna do? Like, would you like to catch the feels of the mall once again? Like, boom, there you go, right? The fashion one is a fashion mall more? I'm guessing more of clothes.
Like Balenciaga or Gucci, I'm assuming.
That
Yeah,
point,
kind of more like that.
it limits the market then, and limits the number of people that go in. Not everyone has the money to go in there. Right?
Yeah.
After
By
all,
the
you
Especially,
wasted all your money on gambling.
well, yeah,
by the
especially
way, have you
considering it's right on the Las Vegas Strip too. It's literally on Las Vegas Boulevard. So yeah.
Someone did not think this through, but yeah,
by the
the
way,
market's
have you seen the
small.
fucking like I want to say it's like Balenciaga made like high heel Crocs.
What?
Yeah,
I don't.
seriously, take a wild guess how much they cost.
$300.
More.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
500.
More.
800.
$625.
Jesus Christ, just get a PS5 at that point.
Oh, I should show you these. Yeah, fucking look at these things.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wait. I remember something. When Caitlin and I we went to Vancouver, we went to one of those like Nike Supreme stores. I just wanted to look in there just to make fun of their prices, right? Some of their shoes are like $600, $700. What the actual fuck? And they're not even that good.
I've seen flip-flops.
Balenciaga has a shirt that says Fortnite on it for $500.
I've seen flip-flops that look more comfortable than that. Like $600.
Yeah.
That's the type of shit that's the type of money I'd see getting sold at an F1 race, okay?
I know. What the hell? Holy shit. Anyways, malls, they are dying. Please support your local mall, or just keep your mall alive. One day I like to go into it, and I like to see what's on the inside. Wow, we got completely off track. We're talking about our draft.
How do you feel about the Seattle Seahawks draft, Luke?
All right, they did good. We did good.
Yeah.
I kind of I'm still a little bit confused on the first pick we spent. I mean,
the Devin Witherspoon selection.
I'm very mixed on it because I feel like this is just one of those things where, to get maximum value, you just trade to get, just for value-wise, I don't see you just don't trade down. You have Tariq Woolen, who is and I know you want to pair with him, but, the other guy we got last year was really good, too. And then we have Michael Jackson, who's blossoming in this camp. So the Seahawks have 4 very good corners right now.
Anyway,
terrifying. Derek Hall is a beautiful story. I'm so happy that he's I think you just love the kid's stories. I love the kids on this team. Going for two running back system, absolutely, 100%. Have a 2-headed running back attack. Keeps both running backs in Seattle for the long term. I mean, they did good. I just wish we'd gotten a D lineman a little bit higher, but it's all on Gino this year. It's going to be on Gino to get DK, Lockett, and JSN and Jake Bobo to kind of piece it all together this year. So best of luck to Gino on that. As from what I've heard, Jake Bobo is impressed in rookie camps. So we'll see how well he does in training camp this year. We'll see if he can make the practice squad or if he makes the final 53-man roster. It's going to be quite the journey. But if not, I mean, XFL, USFL, there's our options.
Yeah, I gotta go. I know I said 45 minutes and I've overstayed my welcome. It's almost 11 o'clock over here, and I got work tomorrow, so I need my beauty sleep.
All right, no problem, man. Thanks for stopping by. We'll pick a better day for it. We'll pick a better day. I just really wanted to do it.
Yeah. We just needed to get it out of our system for now, and but the 3 of us will keep going. I'm pretty sure.
Yep. Aiden's not in the right mind. He's still not doing fine, but maybe he might join. He might not. I think a good hearty workout will do him good.
And hey, I have a whole Minnesota Vikings to talk about.
You do indeed. Let's hear it.
Well, I think it's really interesting that Kwesi is taking a very different approach to the draft than Rick Spielman did, where he seems to be going quality over quantity, whereas Rick just kind of threw everything at the dartboard and prayed to God it stuck. Very excited to see what Jordan Addison does. Hope he takes some pressure off of Justin Jefferson. Jacqueline Waugh is someone I'm also interested in seeing. I'm I kind of wish we drafted a running back higher than 7th, but I did like what I saw from Dwayne McBride from his college tape, and really for me the intrigue comes from the undrafted free agents, particularly Andre Carter II and Ivan Pace Jr. Very excited to see what they bring to the table.
Nice. Nice.
And in other news, I want to say, I think tomorrow, I think right now is a bad time to be a Mexico fan because they are down 3-0 to the USA now.
Ay, Dios mío.
Ooh, Canada destroyed Panama earlier today, so as is tradition, we have to destroy Panama. I mean, we're hosting the World Cup, so we have to, do well in the preliminaries. And we have some good players in Alphonso Davies. It just hopes we can get some other guys to kind of like step up, and hopefully we can win a game this year at FIFA. I hope so. I mean, it's the only soccer I'll ever watch. To be honest. Yeah, so that's the NFL. There was a draft. I wish we could talk more about it, but it's been so long since it happened.
Kind of a blur.
It's a blur, but don't worry. Once we start doing other shows, we're going to be doing division previews. We're going to be doing ceilings, and instead of predicting their records, we're going to be doing what's their ceiling look like, what does their floor look like, yada, 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 yada. And also starting the Hall of Fame game will be the Sickos Pick'ems League, running from the Hall of Fame game in the preseason all the way to the Grey Cup in 2024. So
Don't you mean the Super Bowl?
Nope. Grey
God
Cup in 2024. It's a league that's 14 months long, encapsulating the NFL, the XFL, the USFL, and the CFL.
I hate you so goddamn much.
I hate myself too. Oh, and any ranked versus ranked CFB games. So and likely the CFB playoffs too. So
Yasko says we literally got a star in the striker position, but we hired Greg back.
Yep.
Yeah, very, very tough scene right there. Very tough scene. I really hope the backlash is like. I really hope this is.
In the end, basically a skill issue.
Don't be sad. This is just how it works out sometimes.
This is like the original Sonic trailer moment where it's like they immediately realize, oh shit, we fucked up badly, and they just have to like go back to the drawing board.
Yeah. Meow. Oh fuck!
I love the soundboard on Discord so much. It's just so good.
I can just imagine the two of us laughing our asses off, and Nick's just in the middle, like, "Oh God, why am I stuck with these fucking two?"
I am like, what am I doing here? Like, I am like, I am like, I can make the stupidest joke. I can just say the word penis, and y'all will laugh at me like an idiot.
Oh, hang on, I need to do the thing. I need to do the thing.
Say the line, Bart.
I farted and a poopy almost slipped out.
I love that so much.
That was great timing on my part with the fucking y'all motherfuckers will laugh at anything.
We will.
I can show you a picture of a ripped off flip flop, a flip flop that's been cut in half, and y'all will laugh like motherfuckers.
Well, someone's flip flop got fucking.
That's flip-flop.
It got cut in half.
I can show you an image. I can show you an image of a broken remote, and y'all will laugh like maniacs.
How did it get broken though?
Yeah, exactly. Why did he done do that?
So I have something even funnier, dude. Fucking Bob Stupid is the XFL champion head
Oh
coach.
my god.
Oh,
Who the fuck saw that coming?
I didn't. I didn't.
The 4 and 6 Arlington Renegades. I've watched every single one of their games. I think majority of their games we watched as part of our watch-alongs.
Except that
They
one.
couldn't do offense.
They had fucking the worst fucking QB battle between fucking Kyle Sloter and Luis Perez.
Drew Plitt.
Oh, Drew Plitt.
And from a trade, they got Luis Perez in for like 1 or 2 games. And then they're like, yeah, he's like, yeah, I can kind of, make this work together. And there you go. They somehow won the championship. I have no, like, the cycle of events, because keep in mind too, when Luis Perez was in Las Vegas, it wasn't good. He wasn't good even in Vegas.
He was part of the Mr. Beast team. He was arguably the beastliest of Mr. Beast.
Yeah, like he literally did more for the Arlington Renegades than any quarterback in that season. And then any quarterback. He outdid all their quarterbacks. He played like 4 games. One of those games, I'm counting that he played on Vegas, where he literally threw them the win. 2 pick sixes. I am astonished by that. I thought Jordan, like, the fact that also, it's kind of like bittersweet too. I really like the XFL championship was between probably 2 of the best quarterbacks that are not on NFL rosters, and I forgot to put my controller on neutral. Ha 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 ha.
Idiot.
I like those between Jordan Tiamu, which are 2 of the best quarterbacks that I see play in these tier 2 in these tier 2 football leagues. I liked that was between the 2 of them. That was a good job by the script writers. Sad ending to the Sea Dragons, who just really just couldn't get out of their own way, and the Roughnecks. Oh boy, they started off red.
I'd argue.
They started off white hot and then just kept slipping and slipping and slipping.
I'd argue it was even sadder for the Battlehawks because the
Battlehawks got robbed.
They did as well as they did. Fucking 7-3, and they're out of the playoffs on tiebreaker, dude.
And it was like to like the 5th tier of tiebreakers that it had to go through. And the one thing that I gotta say I did not like what happened is that they told us Seattle had to win by 28, like 28, 30, what's it, like 28 or 35? I think it was like 28, and they didn't win by 28. They won by less than 28, and they still made it? What?
Yeah, it was a completely confusing mess right there.
It was such,
genuinely.
like, so the way how you look at it, it's like, it really feels like the Battlehawks fans got robbed. They were not clear on what...
They got crunkied again.
It wasn't that they got crunkied, it's... The XFL was not clear on what are the exact win conditions in this scenario. After the Vipers games, they said Seattle has to win by more than 28. And then they bounced back to Seattle can't allow more than 28. It was that was the cause of why Seattle moved on, is because they had to allow less than 28 points. That's purely the reason why they made it on. But they just made it so confusing at the end of the day that it made no sense. And at the end of it, if you're a Battlehawks fan in the XFL, is not clear about it, you feel like you got robbed. And this is a city that you shouldn't have robbed. I would have been way rather had the Battlehawks in the playoffs over the Sea Dragons. Just because the fans in St. Louis, they showed out to like every game, and now you kind of ripped off the most passionate fan base out there.
I mean, in a way, you could say it was a St. Louis screw job.
Yeah.
Genuinely. You could call it that.
We over here at the shit posting business call this the St. Louis screw job.
We're not in the business.
Yeah.
You
Well,
think we're making money from this?
I'll say this, though, in terms of the Renegades and stuff, and them, like, or freaking Arlington winning, it's like, this is the equivalent, this would literally be the equivalent if the 2010 Seahawks won the Super Bowl. This is what it feels like.
yeah. Yeah. Man, I would have been fucking happy if they were winning the Super Bowl with my. Oh yeah, that was Pete Carroll's first year too. Oh, that would have been great. I like
Yeah,
that.
imagine
Super
having to
Bowl
say,
winner.
imagine having to say, fucking Super Bowl champion Matt Hasselbeck.
That's a good thing. Hey, we Seahawks fans appreciate Matt Hasselbeck. That dude's a Seahawker for life. Same thing with Wilson. We all better be giving Wilson the same respect that Matt Hasselbeck got. Wilson still got us a Super Bowl at the end of the day.
Yep.
I remind you that Matt Hasselbeck voided his contract because of the, what was it? I think it was the new CBA. So Matt Hasselbeck opted out of his own deal. So we couldn't even trade Hasselbeck for anything. So just a reminder. Just a reminder, folks, that Matt Hasselbeck left Seattle much worse than Russell Wilson did. Just kind of beans and candy. And yeah, XFL also, they are expanding their rosters to 90. They are going to draft players that are not on any NFL rosters. I think this is nice. But
there are no plans to move the Mr. Beast team, which I find.
Hey, you know what that means? We're all going to Vegas to watch this shit.
Dude, we have to go to Cashman.
We have to go to. I'm literally changing my I'm literally just gonna take a weekend off. I have to go to a friend's wedding. I was gonna probably take a whole week off. I'm just gonna go weekend. I'm not even gonna be taking the Thanksgiving weekend of sports off. No, my time off is gonna be going to meeting up with the five of us. We're gonna go to Cashman. We are all gonna go to Cashman. We are all gonna go to Burger King before we go. It is going to be a beautiful, beautiful time. We will reunite in the greatest of ways.
However, Rob Woodson is out as a head coach.
Yeah, he is out as the coach of the Vegas Vipers, which, yeah, the guy was bad. The guy, like, the fact that Luis Perez completely turned it around in Arlington with a better coach in Bob Stoops, yeah, says a lot. And also, Kyle Sloter did get released from his XFL contract. He's in the USFL. He has not played yet. And I don't know.
But regarding Cashman, it's like I get that in other sports, it's like you have leases and stuff, especially with different owners and stuff. But it's like, goddamn, the XFL is like, yeah, we're okay with playing at a shitty baseball stadium that not even minor league teams want to play at.
The back. Also, if you watch these games on TV, the backdrop is just the worst.
The fucking worst.
It is like high school vibes. Like, I'm pretty sure the crowd's not having their good time, but I look at this and go, "Good lord, you couldn't do any better than this."
Funny,
My God.
It's funny, it's really funny. It's like, goddamn, it's like, yeah, I've seen. My high school stadium was better than this, and my high school stadium got shut down by the CCSD because of how bad the field was one year. That's saying something right there.
Oh my God. And especially since this is like, even though I can understand this is like only tier 2 pro football leagues and they're never going to get their own stadium. But like, wouldn't it be nice if they played in Allegiant Stadium to where, it's getting used?
Or like if you can't play there because the Raiders or UNLV don't want you to play there, or don't want you playing there, San Diego's available. Use them.
Or
Only
I'm pretty
San
sure you
Diego
could
is
go to
something.
Oakland and have the same effect as the Battlehawks.
Not even improving by You're not even getting worse by going to Oakland this time. Do something.
Yeah, exactly. You would have the Battlehawks effect if you go to Oakland.
My God, San Diego too.
San
Diego.
I'll have to see that. That
They
is
have a good
to be seen.
stadium.
That's good at least. That's for UCLA or is that for US?
San Diego State.
San Diego State. Oh.
Yeah.
I wish San Diego State was like in the Pac-12. That would be cool if they were in the Pac-12. But yeah, can't wait for can't wait for season 2 of XFL 3.0. We'll be watching it, covering it, giving you guys better background information. I'll be not at I hopefully won't be at a pizzeria, working at a pizzeria at that time.
This guy's playing Pizza Tower for real.
Hopefully I'm not at the same job I'm at. Hopefully I'm at like a better one. That's like Monday through Friday. That frees up my weekends.
Hopefully we'll be able to meet up in Vegas. That'll be cool.
That'll be fun.
We might do a fun little live thing.
I'll ask Caitlin if she wants to sixth wheel it. Be the 6th/5th/4th wheel of it, and she gets to go to a football game with us.
Maybe taking all the sights and sounds of Las Vegas.
I will be hiding in my hotel room the whole time. No, I'm kidding. Not this time. I'll be actually. I'll tell you the story another time. But yeah, XFL 3.0. Congratulations on finishing first season. Was a fun one. Fun championship game. Can't wait for season 2. And now we move on to the USFL.
So
do
boring.
I ask how many games have you guys watched?
I've only watched the ones that have popped up in the cabana. I'm sorry. I couldn't give a rat's ass about the USFL.
I think
basically.
I think it was timing for Spencer, but I've watched like 80% of the games. A lot. I can say easily it's worse. It's a worse product than the XFL. The XFL has more talent. Easily has more talent. It's more akin to I see more like a little bit of the CFL. I think the XFL has surpassed the CFL in terms of even talent on its own self because it feels like the XFL is working itself to being a direct pipeline to the NFL, where I don't think.
Also, we have an exciting update on the XFL. We have a potential investor in Bobby Wagner.
Ooh, I like Bobby! Bobby Wagner.
Nice.
That's our captain. That's our captain, boys. That's the captain. Anyways, in terms of the USFL, oh my good lord.
The North is so bad. So bad.
The South is so entertaining, though. It's all games this weekend are win-in-ins. Win and you make the playoffs. So it's basically the playoffs start next week. I think they need help. The other teams need help from another team. And they needed to win and they need help. That's for the other spot. I think it's going to be another Birmingham sweep.
Let's see. Birmingham is already in the playoffs.
Yeah, Birmingham's in the playoffs. Alex Magoo has been terrific this year. He's easily the most polished quarterback in the USFL. I hopefully he can start in the XFL sometime soon. But without a doubt, he is like the most polished quarterback out of all of them. Case Cookis is like right there, but he might need another year. What I like to see with a lot of these guys is when they spent a full year. You can tell the guys that spent a full year in the same system how good they are. I think Alex Magoo and Case Cookis might have a shot at an NFL roster. There's a corner, and I think it's I don't know his name, but also I think Breland Speaks is going to get a chance to make an NFL roster. Also, Corey Coleman has been very good too. He might get a shot Leeds broke the USFL record for most receiving yards in a single season. He's at 649. He's got another week to play. He's been really, really good too. So there's a couple guys that will make NFL rosters. I hope a lot of them go to the XFL or just do what the fans want. Just merge with the XFL. I think it will help your product in the long run.
Oh
I
yeah,
hope
for sure.
And
these leagues
I
need
gotta
to merge
say this.
together.
My thing with the USFL, like my biggest problem with why like the USFL just feels like such a void watching it because like there's like no atmosphere. There's no really like
It
and
feels like empty, like
Unless
the same. To wrap it back, it's like going to like a shitty rundown mall.
well,
it's
here's
like
the thing.
watching a COVID event.
Yeah,
Genuinely.
those are like the thing is, unless it's Birmingham or Memphis, it's dead. It's all the other stadiums. Like I know Michigan's playing in Detroit.
Yeah, as is I want to say either New Jersey or
I
Philadelphia.
think it's Philadelphia. It's some other. I don't.
Thank you, Philadelphia.
Don't care. I don't really care. But like I hope they're in their own stadiums because it really helps. Like they need to pass the vibe check. They need to pass the vibe check.
And move the Panthers to Grand Rapids because Grand Rapids will show up for a minor league football team. Detroit, they barely show up for the. No, actually Detroit turns out when the Lions are good. I'm sorry. I was about to make a low blow.
And I'm sorry, but the Philip Rivers look-alike. Please get some awareness for me, please. Please get some football IQ. That's the noticeable difference between USFL versus XFL, which is pure football IQ. It was a noticeable difference. Common mistakes that leave points leave points off the board. You can't do that. I mean, the one thing I will say, I like that these games are close. They are a little bit better than the XFL at factoring game-winning drives in the 2-minute warning than the XFL was. But that's about it. I do hope that we just merge with the XFL, please. It helps your product, and not to mention, it will keep guys from fleeing to the XFL because I think especially I don't know when. I think that they're doing the draft when the USFL season ends for 4 teams with the playoffs, so they might be drafting some of those guys too because they're technically not on an NFL contract or a roster, so they'll be those good players that are on those bad teams are going to be up for grabs. So,
And here's an additional benefit of merging the XFL and the USFL. It'll make sure that you don't get like overly footballed out. Like,
oh yeah, I can say I'm footballed out.
but we have one more league to talk about.
How was your first week watching the CFL? Oh, Elks, I feel bad for you guys. Your starter is... Oh, my... Here's the thing. All these 3 leagues are very uniquely different from one another. I think the CFL probably has better... less talent probably than the USFL. But it's more exciting to watch because of how open and loose everything feels. They're attempting more deep ball passes than any of these leagues could. Like each drive, the quarterback's going to be throwing 30, 40-yard bombs almost like every drive. Do they connect most of the time? Fuck no! Is it incredible when they do connect? Absolutely. The CFL has still managed to find a way to make itself an exciting product. So I will give credit to the CFL. It's an exciting product. It's just if you're a diehard NFL fan, you're gonna think it's the worst sin ever seen before.
I mean, I can at least give them praise for at least being a bit like they're at least unique in some way. I'll give them praise for that. I'll give them praise.
Absolutely, they're very unique.
I will say though, one of the only quarterbacks I do recognize in the CFL is Vernon Adams Jr., and that was because I remember watching him at Oregon. So I do recognize him.
I recognized one quarterback, Shea Patterson. He's the backup for the Rough Riders, and that's because he
Yep,
was
I remember him.
horrible in the first season of the USFL. First
Yeah.
overall pick, too!
Yeah, it was bad with him. He was the former Michigan quarterback,
Yeah,
I believe.
and he ironically played for Michigan. I heard a lot of Michigan fans were not happy about that. They knew what they had in him, and it
I just find,
wasn't good.
now I just wonder, if he's struggling this badly, I wonder, how could Christian Hackenberg do better?
I wonder that too, but I don't think I think Hackenberg's completely out of football.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
How bad things went.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I do want to give an update on USA versus Mexico, because yeah, shit got crazy. I'm just gonna say it right now. The game had to be called because Mexico fans were apparently chucking beers at US players and doing homophobic chants.
Oh no.
Lovely.
The latter has become a big problem with Mexico over recent years, and yeah, it seems to have gotten worse tonight.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
It's like, wow, there were more. I mean, I'd like to congratulate Mexico and their fans on doing more homophobic chants than they scored goals tonight. I guess
Yeah,
I'll
I
just
heard
leave,
there was
I'll
like
leave
there
them to
was
relish in
like
their own embarrassment.
there was like fights too, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, I already know there'd probably be fights in the stands at least, but I know there was definitely a lot of crazy shit happening.
Oh yeah, soccer outside of the MLS is like a different beast.
Oh yeah,
Worldwide.
especially like when you go more Central America and South America, especially
Yeah, especially holy shit, Latin America. Oh my god, Europe, they're just all drunk saying dumb shit. Because soccer's a worldwide thing, and just the environment in soccer is just, if you go to like underdeveloped parts of the world, it is quite a bloodbath sometimes. And there's stories that I've read about like other, like especially in the Philippines, how they oversold on many tickets, and yeah, doesn't look good.
But yeah,
It makes them look really bad and makes these underdeveloped areas just seem just much worse. Especially when it's like soccer that's like on the same line as the MLS. But you know, MLS I just can't take seriously. But yeah, CFL, also a reminder for all those. CFL, we do weekly. We're going to do watch-alongs because what the hell else is going on this summer? Baseball!
Ew, baseball. Gross.
Baseball. I mean, it's watchable.
I mean,
the fact that the game has gotten so much faster. The game has gotten so much faster.
I mean, what else do you want us to do with our time? Touch grass?
Yeah. It's the chef's
I mean,
kiss.
hey, we're gonna talk baseball. If we want to talk baseball,
next
I'll get to it later.
next show we're gonna be doing, because we don't have much time tonight. We got other
But
things.
we do have time for one more segment, I believe.
We do. We're gonna keep going, but like we're gonna be doing our minor league check-ins for our youngins. There's a couple of the Mariners have reloaded their farm system. They have a lot of higher end prospects that they got for the Dominican leagues, and their draft picks are fucking flourishing. The Mariners are gonna get reinforcements. They just gonna need like 2 years.
Yeah, I'll just say this though. I'll just make it quick. Central divisions are reaching new levels of Comedy Central. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. The Central's still comedy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Just
On that note, I believe it's time for an update on one of Luke's favorite segments, and probably nobody else's. We have some stuff. We have 8 of these coming in, so it's time to play Why Come New IKEA?
Ooh, my people gonna get some new motherfucking IKEAs! is.
And our first contestant, is San Francisco, California.
Why the fuck are they getting another IKEA? Save some for the rest of us.
So, San Francisco, why come new IKEA?
Yeah, why come new IKEA?
I guess 2 just isn't enough, you know? Sort of like the Warriors deciding that the amount of rings they have just simply isn't enough.
Yeah, save some for the rest of us dicks.
Yes, Steph Curry must have an entire ziggurat, a mind-style temple, where he makes sacrifices of all the other NBA superstars. And that's the only way Warriors fans will be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, one of the IKEA locations is in Oakland.
Yeah, they can keep their IKEA. They'll keep they can keep their IKEA.
Yeah, they deserve it. And that brings us full circle, and I believe that brings us to the end of this podcast and to the end of our to-do list, which I can't believe we did.
Wait. We still have like NBA and NHL playoffs.
Yeah, we still have.
We
that.
still have that list. How could you forget about that list? Also, talk about you missed on your bet. I thought it was gonna be. We talk about missing your fucking bet. Holy shit. Way to whiff on that, man. We still got so much to talk about.
Damn it!
I think regarding the NBA and NHL playoffs, what we should do is basically say, I think what we should do is just talk about just shit on the biggest losers from both playoffs. That's what we should do.
All right. I get it. All right, let's get this.
Boston and Boston, got it.
No, Toronto.
Toronto for losing because of DeMar DeRozan's daughter. That was funny.
Mm-hmm. The Raptors' DeMar DeRozan's daughter was hilarious. Here's the thing. I want to go to the NBA, and then we'll do there's a lot to talk about the NBA and NHL, and then we'll get to the NHL. Then we'll leave any closing remarks that we might have. I can honestly say for the NBA, the fact that the 2 teams that played in the play-in tournament made it all the way to their conference finals, I think was quite funny, just for starters.
I gotta say, I want to say this though. It's funny to me the fact that the Miami Heat were a non-Kobe White sub away from getting eliminated in the play-in. Genuinely.
Yeah.
They were 2 minutes away from going home.
Mm-hmm.
And
then Jimmy Buckets was like, "Ha no!"
Boy, Donovan knew the script. He knew the script all along.
Mm-hmm. Man knew the script. The fact that they had a really good run, like knocking off the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round, like convincingly.
You beat them in 5.
In 5 games.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Spencer, but like, they got it's the biggest victim to. The biggest victim in all this is they got straight outcoached and outplayed.
Well, at least Bud's gone.
Yeah, I feel bad for the guy. Like, Bud Grant had a major distraction going on.
No, not Bud Grant. Mike Budenholzer.
Mike.
Yeah, Budenholzer.
Oh, Budenholzer. Okay. Yeah. I feel for the guy. The guy was dealing through a massive tragedy, a massive loss, and especially when you're not in the right mindset, your players are definitely not going to be in the right mindset either for this.
I'll say with Bud, honestly, I think the best thing he could do in terms of still wanting to coach is, I would say, go to San Antonio and reunite with Pop. I think that's what he should do.
Yeah. Or even then, I know it's playoffs, but like, you have assistant coaches. You have people on your coaching staff that say, you look at them and say, hey, you know, something tragedy just happened, and everybody's gonna understand. But especially to the assistant head coach, take over.
I
And
get he wanted the coach through it, but at the same time, with hindsight being key, it's like he should have taken a step away.
yeah, he should have taken a step away because not only that, it's the players didn't even rally around the guy. Like that's a thing that I really want to label as quite important is where are the players? Where is the players just rallying around their coach? Where was that? I was like, your coach just went through a horrible tragedy. Where's playing for your coach? Where's saying, you know what, coach? We know you're down in the depths. We're gonna rally around you because that's what a team does. Or you think that's what a team would do, right?
Giannis tried bailing him out on a broken fucking leg.
He did.
Yeah, it's just the high-end talent. Just it was not enough. It was not enough to get them over the sloppy play and just lack of focus.
Crushed by the Heat. That's the story. They got crushed by the Heat. Let's go Heat. But they got crushed, and at the end of the day, I feel for Milwaukee fans, but also at the same time, was it Middleton? The dude had to step up. He didn't. I look to make some aggressive trades if I was Milwaukee sometimes.
I mean, I've been hearing rumors about Bradley Beal being linked to them already. I've already been hearing rumors of that.
I've heard Beal to the...
I mean, he's the Beal deal!
Well, I'll say this, because I'll say this with Milwaukee, and this is coming from a Chicago fan, so you're probably not surprised by how I feel about this, but if Grayson Allen is starting for the Bucks next season, something had to have gone wrong this offseason, because there is no way he should be starting for them next season. Like, if you want to keep him as a bench player, sure, but he should not be a starting shooting guard for them.
Alternatively, though, I would like to see him, on the Minnesota Wild next to somebody like Matt Dumba, Jonas Brodin, because he looks like he plays great defense.
Yeah. Just don't be trying to kill Alex Caruso. Just don't be trying to do that.
So Milwaukee sucks. Take your L and fuck off.
Yeah, I say this. There is an NBA team I feel like has gone under the radar in terms of how much shit they've received. Because this team got knocked out in the first round, but also they did not even show up. And that was the Cleveland Cavaliers losing in 5 against the Knicks.
The Cavs, yeah.
They really laid it.
Cleveland was in the playoffs.
What concerns me the most is the fact that the players are this young team, right? This young team that seems to have limitless potential in front of them was like, holy shit, yo, we ain't ready for this.
Yeah,
that's
this was
concerning.
This was the case. I mean, Jared Allen said it best. The lights were too bright for us. He literally said that. The lights are too bright.
I'm just thinking of that Donald Trump clip, turn those lights off, turn them off.
Keep in mind, I see, this is gonna be a start. I'm gonna predict this as a trend for Cleveland. This core is not getting past the first round of the playoffs. They're not. They're gonna drink that Toronto Maple Leaf juice. Well, young, limitless talent, they'll never make it past round 1 with that attitude.
We'll talk about the Leafs
we will.
later.
We will.
I gotta say this. What's so surprising is Cleveland literally, especially the starting lineup, they have everything you'd want on paper. They got talent on all 5 parts of the ball. Okay, maybe 3. Okay, maybe their 3 could use improvement, but not the 3-pointer, but at small forward and stuff, they could use improvement in that area. But at the same time, you have Mobley, you have Allen, you have Garland, you have Mitchell, and it's like literally Donovan Mitchell was the only one of those 4 to truly show up for this, genuinely. And that's not what you want to see. It's like, it's a really bad sign when there were times against the fucking Knicks when Donovan Mitchell was having to go 2007 LeBron James mode, or literally 2018 LeBron, just to try and get them to try and win. Genuinely.
Also, lol Nets. Just have to say that, lol Nets.
I mean, the Nets are literally a passenger team. That's literally what they
That
are.
was
They're-
I'm surprised that they were still the 6th seed after everything that happened. I'm
yeah.
dumbfounded that they somehow managed to not be in the play-in tournament.
I will
I
say
am
this. I know a player and team we get to laugh at, and that is the Memphis Grizzlies and Dylan Brooks.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Jean Morant.
Oh,
Yeah, we
hey,
can
he's
look on
next.
Morant.
Oh, he's next. He's next.
Yeah, I'm just saying right now at the Grizzlies, when you make people root for the Lakers because of how toxic you are, you've done fucked up.
Yeah, and the funny thing is the fact. Okay, you gotta brush me up. What did Dylan Brooks do?
He poked the bear. He tried poking the bear at LeBron and got humbled extremely badly. Like
But,
he got smoked.
But
Oh,
like
he's trying to-
for like Dylan Brooks to not even get an NBA contract, but he has to play for the Wandong Tigers.
It's just also Brooks
Get
has
ready to
become
learn Chinese, buddy.
Brooks is literally like Pat Bev if Pat Bev didn't embrace the clown act, if he wasn't entertaining at all when it comes to putting on the clown makeup. Dylan Brooks is literally like I saw this tweet before. It's like Dylan Brooks is the shitty fucking villain that they have the superhero defeat early in the film just to show that the superhero still has it. That was literally what LeBron did to Dylan Brooks. He defeated the shitty fucking villain.
Yeah, he said about LeBron James, I don't care, he old.
So like Dylan Brooks is like someone who it's like Jalen Ramsey was like no Eli Apple. There we go. It's like Eli Apple.
He's the worst version of Eli Apple. What to say that?
Okay. Got it. Ja Morant. I just want Ja Morant just to come to us wonderful principles for 5 seconds. I just want to point something out to you. My dude, you are on the literal cusps. The fucking cusps of making generational wealth. Generational wealth to make generations of your family never work a day in their lives. Smarten the fuck up. I love it when guys come from nothing and make themselves something. There needs to be something in his life that smacks him up. He needs to grow up. Because if he wants to go to the Bloods, retire and go be in a gang, man.
Yeah.
Go do it. Just don't waste our time. Don't waste it.
Dylan Brooks didn't sign with Guangdong, he signed with Shanghai.
The fact that he's
You know what's amazing to me? It's amazing to me, and I'll get back to the playoffs real quick, but it is amazing to me how cursed the 2019 draft class is looking, especially with whatever the hell's going on with Zion, too. I don't know what the fuck's going on with him.
Yeah! I kept, I kind of paid
Apparently-
attention to basketball, like more, like, kind of observing big highlights. When all I heard about the draft was how Zion was the next LeBron James. The next super mega star. Yo, I ain't seen it. He's like, anytime like you would think he was gonna play, nope, he's injured and out for the season.
I mean, he's clearly got the talent. It's just he's not on the court. Genuinely, he's not on the court.
Yeah,
He's-
that's been an issue for the Pelicans for years.
And it really says something that the Pelicans just fired one of their assistants who is key to developing him. Developing him, Ingram, and all that. So the fact that they fired him makes me wonder what the hell is going to happen with Zion's future.
It do not look good. It's the worst part is you see him develop and become a star elsewhere. Those are the worst, especially for fans to see your star player just develop somewhere. Like ask a Giants fan, especially if Kadarius Toney becomes a fucking stud in Kansas City. They're gonna know, but like he was so bad for us because you guys even changed your GM and coach. And Brian Dable did not see potential in Kadarius Toney, but fucking
Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman.
Joe Judge, like, it's not even. I'm not blaming them. It's this current brass that didn't see what Kansas City saw. If he is a stud in Kansas City, the current regime, I look at them and go, why couldn't you implement him into your system like the way Kansas City did? It's on these guys, not Gettleman or Judge.
Somehow
he fell out
RJ
of.
Barrett is the best player to
Yeah,
come
I
out
know.
of this draft.
Yeah, that's the funny thing too. But I hope Zion picks it up for the Pelicans soon. But Ja Morant, my dude, Supermax contract,
Yeah.
150 plus $1 million.
Yeah, this is definitely a bra moment.
Smarten
Speaking of-
the fuck up.
And speaking of bra moments, the Sixers. Should talk about them.
Fucking trust the process, am I right?
Oh, good
You
lord.
still can't get out of the second round. After all these years, you still cannot get out of the second round.
I feel like I can't be frustrated as a Leaf. The 76ers make me feel like I can't complain about the Leafs. Genuinely. I feel like I know I can, but like the fact that the 76ers blew it up, like were intentionally bad for so long. They were god awful, bad. And you know, the hope was all on one player. One player. Who was that player? It's my favorite punching bag. I don't even know who he is. He's out of my brain right now. What was he? Ben Simmons? Yeah, the bitch Ben Simmons. He took his super max and he's headed for the Hamptons. He took his.
You know what he did? He's from Australia, and you know they had that huge gun ban in 1996, so it's no wonder he can't shoot.
But like for real though, Ben Simmons, that was their whole future for Philadelphia, the 76ers. It was Ben Simmons. That was the critical key to everything. They chose Ben Simmons over Jimmy Butler. Mm-hmm. They
chose Ben Simmons and they signed Tobias Harris to a max contract over Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
I have some sad news from the first round, everybody. I'm afraid the beam did not get lit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Beam did not get lit. That was probably. I want more of these series in basketball. Exciting, even though it contained the Warriors. There's something.
Well, hang on a second. Aiden's gonna be on in a few minutes.
Oh, I know. The beam did not get lit. That is F in the chat, my dudes. The beam did not get lit.
This is so not poggers.
This is not the simulation. This is not what we wanted. We wanted the Warriors out of the first round. And as for the Warriors,
hold on. I do.
Oh yeah, I'll let you.
Well, I was gonna say about the Sixers. I also wanted to comment, like, you know, the fact that, you know, you took Ben Simmons. You could have had someone like Brandon Ingram or, you know, Jaylen Brown. You took Markelle Fultz, who you could have had Jason Tatum instead. It's like those are some moments where it's like, yeah, that could have gone a lot better for Philadelphia than it did. But also, it's like, you know, it is really funny, like Philadelphia. It's like, you know, the way they just absolutely imploded against the Celtics in Game 7, that is like one of the worst meltdowns I have ever watched as an
That
NBA
is horrible.
fan. That was like getting absolutely dominated like that. 28-3 run for
Was
Boston.
pathetic.
Fun fact
that was-
about that: they never posted the final score.
Yeah, they just, I mean, I don't even blame the admin for not posting the final score. I would literally just quit my job right at that moment. I would just be like, fuck this, I'm done. And it's like, it's no wonder Doc ended up losing his job, and now it's literally now you are in the hands of Nick Nurse to try and get you past the second round. Which, to be fair, I think if anyone can do that for them, it is Nick Nurse. But yeah, there's a lot of questions with this Sixers team, especially in terms of
Yeah.
James
Oh
Harden.
please!
Because
you only say that because he's named Nick. You have a bias.
Oh, okay, fair. Okay, that's finally. Oh, come on, you have a championship. I can fucking say that.
Yeah, he won one in Toronto. It was Toronto, right?
Yes, Toronto with
Yep.
Kawhi.
Yeah. So I will give credit to here's what Philadelphia, the 76ers do have. I really like Joel Embiid. He's definitely the face of the
Hey,
franchise.
look who it is! It's a California raisin.
Aiden, welcome, buddy. Okay, as I was saying,
Why the fuck did I call you the
Raisin.
California raisin?
Well, to be fair, we're known for our raisins.
Yeah,
true,
fair enough.
true.
Uh,
Okay, as I was saying, with what I like about 76, Joel Embiid, he's somebody that can break multiple bones in his body and tough it out. Easily tough it out. I think especially if without James Harden, you need to try and pine for another superstar to go alongside Joel Embiid. Because here's the thing, James Harden, I'd let him walk. The guy is a solid starter. But I think the 76ers need more than a solid starter. They need more than that. Because
Well,
right,
the
James
thing
Harden.
is, I want to. Yeah, I
Sorry.
mean, I can understand that, but I want to say what really ticked me off with the Sixers was really the loser mentality that Embiid and Harden had post game 7. That was not good. Like, that's a really bad sign. And don't get me wrong, with Embiid, I do think that can be changed. I do think, like, obviously, I think Nick Nurse needs to fix that loser mentality with Embiid to the point where literally Embiid is trying to use Giannis's quote, which is not the same use because Giannis at least has a championship. But, like, Harden, I'm not surprised by that, but at the same time, you still expect better. You expect better from the guys who are supposed to be your top 2 players.
I'm just gonna say it. PJ Walker got a championship before Harden.
DeAndre Jordan got a championship before Harden.
Harden
Fucking-
is pretty much cursed.
Fucking
Well, it's not
Bobby
that Harden.
Portis
It's that
got a-
Harden was more not. He didn't maintain his body. He didn't maintain his proper physical health. He had to
He was
get.
more interested in going into the strip club, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, getting his
After
fuck
every-
on.
He
At-
didn't.
at-
He didn't do what the necessary steps was to build himself into this championship contending status. He just
Well,
Hey,
you know,
he didn't do
he
it.
figured his proper training was to go up to a girl and just you know, find a good chest and just do a little bit of that
Okay, but I'll say this with Phil. It's not like they're drafting. I know I mentioned some earlier fuck ups, but with Daryl Morey, I mean, it hasn't been perfect by any means, but he did draft him Tyrese Maxey, who I'm gonna say right now he's gonna be a future All-Star because he's looked really impressive,
That's
especially for someone that
Yeah,
young.
Maxi is him, bro. Maxi is him.
I hope that the 76ers get over that Eastern Conference final hump. Maybe Nick Nurse is the right coach for it. He did get the Raptors to a championship. They went through the Celtics to do it too. A very good, exciting series against the 76ers. So he knows how to play championship basketball when it matters. He's got I hope 76ers get out of this soon. If not, trust the process. Trust
Before
the
we
Yeah,
get to
I'll
the
take it.
yeah, trust the process. But before we get to the Warriors and stuff, I do want to talk about Phoenix. I want to talk about the Suns because yeah, there's a lot happening.
what a
with them.
mess. What a fucking mess.
Oh my god. They
Trade
traded
Booker to
for Kevin
trade Booker to the
Durant.
Pistons.
And Kevin Durant didn't show up at all. That was sad to watch, genuine. Well, it was funny as hell, but also like, wow.
You
This
get
is
what you
not the
deserve, you
KD I
fucking
know.
snake.
The
This is not the KD I know.
man, the big three. The fact that the big three of Harden and my other basketball playing punching bag, whose name I don't. Kyrie Irving. The fact that he had those three in someone of their primes. The next big three, the fact that that failed. He goes and tries to create another big three in the Phoenix Suns, and that failed too.
Skill issue. Get smaller feet next time.
Yeah, hold up.
AD gets rid of all
Really?
Golden State.
And basically a skill issue.
Don't be sad. This is just
Amen.
sometimes.
KD
And, like,
cannot win without Steph Curry.
Like,
KD
I
cannot
don't
win
know.
without Golden State.
I don't know what the fuck is happening with Chris Paul right now in his relationship with the Suns. I genuinely don't know if he's gotten waived or not. Apparently he hasn't. But, like, I don't know what the hell is going on with that. I don't even know if Aiden's going to be on the team next season. I don't know what's going to happen with him.
To be
But,
clear, different Aiden, not our Aiden. Although,
Aiton, yeah. DeAndre Aiden.
DeAndre
After
ate
supposed to be
him?
the NBA, y'all.
DeAndre
After supposed to
ate
be-
him? Oh my god!
Yeah, that's
yo,
a
that's
shame right there.
brutal. That's brutal,
That's a
man.
fucking shame right there.
Yeah.
Speaking of brutal, yeah, so I'm sure there was no controversy at all with firing Monty Williams.
Yep, don't see it.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No, yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Everything is sunshine. Everything is sunshine and roses.
I'm
Oh,
ex-
sunshine
I am still extremely
Sunshine,
disappointed though.
lollipops.
and
I am-
rainbows.
I'm very disappointed they did not hire Doc Rivers though. That would have been hilarious.
I would have loved if Phoenix hired Doc Rivers. That
Do
would
it for the memes.
that
Do it for the memes.
would have been beautiful.
I mean, Frank
Up there
Vogel.
with hiring. Up there with hiring fucking fucking Jeff Saturday as your full-time coach.
No. Here's the thing.
No,
Jeff
hiring Jeff Saturday, the equivalent of that would have been making Isaiah Thomas your head coach,
Yep.
which was rumored.
Yep. That's the equivalent. I 100% agree with that.
Oh yeah, that was right.
Hold on. Hiring Jeff Saturday is like hiring me as a basketball head coach.
Hey, you play.
I have not. I have
I can't
the
defend
most
it.
experienced basketball I have is grade 6.
Imagine someone hiring Kendrick Perkins as their head coach.
How
Oh
about
my
Condoleezza?
God.
No. How
Oh
about when
my
the
God.
Browns were rumored to be leaked to Condoleezza Ray?
Condoleezza Rice, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was kind of the equivalent. So, why do I want to see that now? I want to see that. Man, I'm a horrible person. Holy shit. What does Luke think now? Luke just wants doom and disastrous to fall upon society. You know, the
Prince of
usual.
Chaos. The
You
Prince
know,
of Chaos.
he's I see those fucking horns growing out of your head. You know, you really ought to learn how to file those down.
Yeah, what person would want to randomize manually an NHL roster into 48 different teams?
This fucking asshole. That's
No! Yeah, I'm the
Sicko.
I'm the sicko that does it. I can't wait for 2.0. This time I'm gonna actually have some help making the document.
Oh my god.
Spencer! Because you have an Xbox! And you're basically getting it like 50% off because I'm sending you 50% of the money. And who knows, if it's on PC, that means Aiden and Nick get on the fun too.
Okay, I guess.
Trust me. Have you ever played an NHL game, Spencer?
Once.
What
I
year was that?
bad at it. 2019.
29. Here's the thing. There's different controller setups that you can do. The best one is to learn hybrid controls and play the Be a Pro to kind of figure out on yourself. And then once you can put all the dots together, it's not that hard.
Yeah, I think my problem was, I didn't know, and the guy I was playing against was like really good, and
Oh!
I played as the Wild, and He kicked my ass with the Red Wings.
Oh yeah, you don't do that. You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't that don't do daily do that. I hope my hope is that there's just cross-platform franchise mode, because Sicko League is gonna be so much fun. And plus, Spencer, we're only gonna be playing each other like maybe once or twice a year, unless we somehow magically end up in the same division. But you know.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. Can't wait for 2.0.
Oh, by the way, Aiden, thoughts on a new IKEA coming to San Francisco?
Don't we already have enough IKEAs in the Bay Area?
Yeah, I know,
Joking
right?
aside, that's a great one. Like, I've been thinking about moving from the South Bay to SF in the near future, barring hoping to get like a new job near SF. So maybe that helps. That would help in my endeavor when I get a new place. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm stoked. I'm stoked.
That's cool, man.
Just like Bart Scott said, can't wait.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Indeed.
I still can't believe we have more IKEAs than Arby's in the Bay.
Arby's is
Something
pretty.
about that just puts a pit in my fucking stomach.
Fucking Arby's.
But hey, IKEA meatballs are amazing. So that's a fair trade.
True.
But yeah, it'll be one in East Palo Alto, one in Emeryville, and one in San Francisco proper.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to it.
That is exciting. Okay, basketball. The Warriors. We are the Warriors for the next one. Hard fought. Fun series.
They just couldn't make it past LeBron.
There's some cracks on their exterior. I really hope Jordan Poole starts. Jordan Poole's like the guy I gotta circle like over and over and over again. He's the one that really has the most pressure on next season. He's gotta come into superstar status, especially if the Warriors need to continue the dynasty.
Here's my thoughts. If Jordan Poole plays next season, we gotta see like how he fits in the team. If he does well, but he's not really a big fit, dump him for some picks or like another player.
Yeah, not to mention,
Like,
wasn't he like a top 4 draft pick too?
No, he was 28th overall.
Who was the
I'm
fourth?
sure you can get
Who was the
something
guy that
from-
got 4th overall?
Second overall, James Wiseman, and he did not fit in our team. And he didn't fit in our team.
Oof! They wasted their high draft pick. Oof! F in the chat.
Let's be honest, though. I don't know. I think looking back, we were probably better off trading that pick because I don't know. Like, Weissman wasn't really a fit for our system because one thing you notice about the Dubs is we always have a defensive center. First, it was Andrew Bogut in 2015, then 2017 and 2018, it was Zaza and JaVale, and now it's Kevon Looney, who's been our defensive center. So we always do well with defensive centers.
All right.
So, speaking of Looney, when do you suppose he says that's all, folks?
Well, he's not. He's gonna be here for a long time. I'm gonna tell you this. I think when Steph, Clay, and Draymond get older, when they leave, it's gonna be Looney, Kuminga, and hopefully Poole if he shapes up. If he doesn't, then ship him off for some assets.
I'll say this with Poole, like it's clear he's got talent, but he really needs to work on his basketball IQ because it was bad last season.
100%. Dude's got strength. He just doesn't have the brains. Oh yeah, and I also forgot. Wiggins is definitely staying. He's an asset. He's gonna be with the team for a while. So I think when Steph, Clay, and Dre leave, it's gonna be like Wiggins, Looney, and Kuminga plus hopefully Poole if he shapes up. So yeah.
I mean, the Warriors will be back. I'm confident. I think hopefully the Warriors can reload with some really good young talent. They're a good, well-run organization. They typically will do. They'll say and do the right things. They've been very well run, so they'll be here for a very long time. But the $1,000,000 question: is it Dynasty or is it a competitive
Memorex.
team? So that's kind of where I see the Warriors. Are they going to restart their dynasty again, or are they just going to be a fairly competitive team? Nothing wrong with being a fairly competitive team. It's fans rather would want dynasty.
Well, there is something wrong with being a fairly competitive team.
Red Wings.
No, I was gonna say
fan arrogance.
No, actually, it's that it makes tickets too damn expensive. What?
Yeah. But you're at the mercy of owners though when it comes to tickets and whatnot.
I'm in the Bay Area. I'm used to paying a lot of money, so it's like Tuesday for me.
Yeah. It depends upon your certain areas.
Warriors.
We'll
$15
see
for a
you
burger.
back. Lakers. Oh boy, it was a miracle that they actually even made it to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, they started 2-10. We have to remember that they started 2-10.
They had to play in the play-in tournament too, although they were the 7th seed, so they kinda.
Fucking low at the T-Wolves.
Yep, LMAO
I forgot about that fucking embarrassment.
Yeah, the less said about what's going on with them, probably the better.
Yep.
Minnesota's just endless suffering, guys.
Minnesota mild.
Yeah, and
I'm more optimistic about the Wild and the Timberwolves.
And the Timbermids too.
And also the Vikings.
And the Minnesota Tees.
I mean, I guess with the Lakers, there's not much for me to really say other than, you did great going this far. Now I just wonder what the hell they're doing this offseason.
The thing is, though, no matter what, I think LeBron's still gonna play for the Kings. Where would he go?
You mean the Lakers?
Sorry, Lakers. Shit. Sorry. I thought.
It would be pretty epic it'd be pretty epic if he went
I would love if he went to
Sacramento.
the Sacramento Kings. That would be amazing.
Might not be.
I think that would be incredibly exciting. That would be incredibly exciting if they managed to do that. Oh, I'd love that a lot. But I think the really interesting, because the $1 million question is Bronny James. I hate that hasn't even played a game in college, and it's this whole theme of we gotta see LeBron and Bronny play together. We gotta see LeBron and Bronny play on the same court.
Did you see this? How Livy rizzed up baby Gronk? Sorry, I'm getting my Twitter stories all mixed up.
Baby
what the
Gronk.
fuck?
He got the wrist. But the one thing I did want to mention it on here is I'd rather have it that Bronny develops into an NBA star than rushing him to the big leagues for ticket revenue. I'd rather he have a long career, even if it means LeBron retires for a year and just stays in shape just to play 1 year with the Sun. Like, if he needs to be 4 years at UFC, spend 4 years at USC.
And here's a reminder, LeBron James is still technically college eligible.
He is.
Oh yeah, that's right.
LeBron to USC, it's happening.
Yep.
It's happening, boys!
It's gonna be happening.
Wait a second. LeBron already played in the pros, so isn't he ineligible due to NCAA's bullshit amateur rule?
Aww.
Fuck the
Boo!
NCAA. Fuck the NCAA.
Yeah,
I'm so
boo.
cringe.
You made the.
You know what?
Here's the
Nope.
thing. I bet they'll make it. I bet USC is gonna bet their eyes, but please make an exception for us if they bet their eyes.
It's LeBron.
It's
Yeah, it's
LeBron. We want
LeBron.
LeBron to play in a Widow College league. We want to play. Well, we want LeBron. But anyways, congratulations to Bronny for a full ride at USC. Congratulations to LeBron James, first child off to college. It's got to feel a good feeling.
Congratulations to baby Gronk on that miss.
How old is LeBron?
39, if I remember, friend.
39. He can pull the Tom Brady out. He can play till
I mean,
45.
He's at least 12.
He's 38. He's 38.
Oh, LeBron's
Okay.
gonna play till he's like 42. What are people talking about? It's gonna happen. It's just LeBron's just let Bronny develop. LeBron's not gonna go anywhere. Let 38.
42. He's gonna play till he's 46.
Yeah, he'll play. LeBron will play for a while.
He'll play until the Grim Reaper comes, and
Yeah.
even then he'll be like, "Don't get me off this court, bro. I'm LeBron fucking James."
Like, I know
Oh, you know
LeBron
what?
James wants to lament retirement, but he's gonna play one more year for the Lakers, and then he's gonna go sign with a contender.
Well, I'll say
no,
this.
he's gonna
I'll say
sign with
this.
the Timberwolves.
Timber
God,
mids.
Timberwolves.
He's gonna go sign with like a contender. I wouldn't be surprised if Miami was like a LeBron James type away from
Oh,
a
yeah.
champion.
I'm gonna be conflicted if LeBron signs with Golden State. I'm gonna be conflicted. Like,
I mean,
do
it's
you think
LeBron James. He's gonna fit a reasonable role. He's experienced. It's not bad. It's better to have a LeBron than not to have a LeBron, and especially if he recognizes that this is Steph Curry's team. I'm just here to play with my friend Steph Curry. There.
Well,
If
does.
LeBron says that, then why worry?
I think if he's able to, like, stay humble, then that'll be fine. It's just I'm concerned about his ego.
Well,
That's
I
pretty
have
much it.
big news. I have big news from Place. Urinating Tree server shut down until June
Yeah.
30th.
Yeah, they've been planning a shutdown for a while for like repairs and stuff, or like really to adjust
Yeah.
the server and stuff, which makes sense.
It's a
It
hiatus, yeah.
makes-
Makes
taking a
sense.
2-week hiatus.
What are we gonna do now?
Shit.
Hey, we have our
that's around
server.
there. Oh god, I have to talk to Tegan, don't I?
Hey,
You
don't
have to
worry
talk to
about
Tegan and
Tegan.
well, actually, no, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is just touch grass.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
Oh.
join me and touch some grass.
No, I don't
You
want
hear
to
that?
touch
You hear that?
grass.
They want us to touch grass, bro!
No, I don't
You have
want
to-
to touch grass.
You have to look at this image of LeBron James in a Chicago Bulls jersey.
Oh no, oh no.
Here's the thing: LeBron James can be very serviceable wherever he goes. I think he's still got a lot left in him. Even though he's kind of like teased with retirement, dude, he could easily retire. But at the end of the day, I feel like LeBron's gonna keep playing just to play with Bronny. At the end
I will
of the
say
day.
this. I'll say this regarding teams where the Grim Reaper showed up to take their fans' souls. The Boston Celtics. We should talk about them.
The fact that they did, the fact that they really were a miracle shot away from losing in 6. It was nowhere near close to a reverse sweep as it was in 2003. The fact that reverse sweeps have never happened in the NBA, it's happened like what 6 times? How many times in the NHL was it? Like the small?
A lot.
No, it's a small
5.
handful.
I think it was like four or five
4 or
times.
5, like a small handful.
I'm
And
sure
I should
our friend
know.
Aiden
I should
would-
know.
Yeah. Sharks did the got wait Sharks were the
They
Sharks.
got the funny done against them.
Oh.
Forever fuck the LA King. Forever fuck Dowdy. Forever fuck Kopitar. Fuck Justin Brown. Fuck everyone in that 2014 Kings team.
Hey
Fuck
Aiden,
you all.
Aiden, I have one thing to say to you.
Don't be sad. This is just how it works out sometimes.
Go fuck them. Go fuck them.
But
Starting Boston.
It's only.
Ooh, don't
it's
go
only a
down.
game.
Here's the
Why
biggest
do you
lesson
to
I
be
have.
mad?
The big lesson I have for like never go down 3-0. Never go down 3-0, kids.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Never, like right now, like for example, Sacramento Bulls versus the Ottawa Senators. We're up 3-0 right now.
Yep.
Sorry, Nick. We've kicked your butt this game with this whole
That's
series.
what it is.
Yeah.
I gotta say this though regarding the Celtics. My question is, and it's really it's becoming a bigger narrative with them as the years go on. When are they gonna get over that hump and become the championship team that they were expected to one day become with this
That they
core?
should have been at this point.
Oh
Because
please,
it hasn't happened.
it's Boston. Like they're pretty much just barely evolved Cowboys fans.
Well,
over
yeah,
there.
but Nick's right. Do you know how think they've had many deep playoff runs that have ended up empty-handed.
Like, we should
You're
be
welcome,
building
NBA.
the Billy King statue should be getting built right now near completion, but
Mm-hmm.
it hasn't happened because Boston hasn't finished their job.
They haven't done they've been very.
They need that
Very
Bill
close.
Belichick poster that just says "Do your job." And
Like we're talking like there needs to be like we're talking about all these teams that need a legacy of failure video. The Celtics should be in major consideration for one.
well, not
I know
necessarily.
early 2000s. I know early
let me-
2000s they were really
let me
good
say
with Ray
this.
Allen and company. I know
Let me say
that.
this. I feel like Boston. I know, and Tree said this about the Bruins. He can say the same thing about the Celtics. They're chokers. They've gotten a choking reputation now.
It is and it's could be legacy. They're in legacy of failure territory.
No,
Several
no.
deep playoff runs and
They
nothing to
won
show
in
for
2008.
it.
They won in 2008.
Yeah, but still, with this group, if they don't get it done, it is a failure. They've
Remember-
had.
Oh no,
I
it
can see a
is.
failure is like 40, 50 years.
Well, yeah, you're right,
like-
but no, I'm not saying you're wrong. But all the other teams, they've been like, they've either missed the playoffs or they've maybe made it to the finals like once or twice. Boston has had, it's on the base brass that Boston has had several deep playoff runs with nothing to show for it. That's the point I'm trying to get at.
Something Minnesota Vikings something.
Yeah, but the Vikings have been up and down. It's not like the Vikings have had, I think maybe like one spurt in like the 70s and 80s, but not like a spurt where it's NFC Finals, NFC Finals, NFC Finals, Super Bowl, NFC Finals, NFC Finals, Super Bowl, NFC Finals, like that. Can you
I feel
imagine
like-
if a team consistently made it to the NFC or AFC Conference Championship Finals, or like a mix of that and the Super Bowl, and never won? Never won.
Bills.
Yeah, Bills are absolutely one of those legacy of failures. But imagine
what
if
really-
like the Buffalo, like that stretch of it was like all at once. I'd consider that a failure.
What's remarkable to me is ever since I feel like when Boston truly opened their championship window, because they did make the Eastern Conference Finals the year before this, but when they signed Kyrie and Gordon Hayward, that's when they traded for Kyrie.
Yeah.
And basically told Isaiah Thomas to go fuck himself, and then signed Gordon Hayward. That was when their championship window was like truly open. That's when it truly opened, and it feels like ever since that moment, they have not been able to capitalize or get over that hump for a variety of reasons. Like 2018, of course, to be fair, injuries fucking killed them. I'm not gonna shit on them for taking LeBron to 7 games that year. But the following year, losing in 5 to Milwaukee with Gordon Hayward being not coming close to form and Kyrie Irving shitting himself in the postseason, that was not a great moment. Following
To
year,
be fair, Chris Middleton has a tendency to just
Disappear.
shit all over the Celtics.
yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but at the same time, that was a disappointment for them. Following year with the bubble, they did make the Eastern Conference Finals. That, I mean, was improvement over the previous year, and this was really when the young core was getting into their very own, at least the young pieces of Tatum and Brown. The only problem is I feel like this series was the moment Brad Stevens basically was on his way to getting fired because of how badly he got out-coached by Spoelstra. which is not exactly, well, I mean, to be fair, a lot of people have gotten out coached by Spoelstra, but at the same time, it was a disappointing end for them. Following year was a big disappointment because, well, yeah, nothing really went right for them. They were mediocre. But then 2022 felt like the year, okay, they're gonna break through that glass ceiling. Because with Udoka and stuff, they make the finals, even though they lost to Golden State. At the same time, it's like, there's a lot to look forward to now. They finally got to the finals. They're gonna take that next step and get to that championship and win it. And then Udoka gets himself fired. So yeah, that went out the window real quick in terms of those plans with Udoka. So now you had to do a lot of changing, and then you make Joe Mazzulla your interim head coach, and then your permanent head coach, which I'm going to say this, because Joe Mazzulla got a lot of shit this postseason, and understandably so, because yeah, he had a lot of baffling decisions, but personally, I don't think the dude's ready to be I don't think he's ready to be a coach yet. I mean, he's only 34, and this was his first true coaching job in terms of big, actual coaching job and stuff. He was not ready. He was not ready, and his series against Miami really, really showed, especially those first two games and stuff, and how he literally admitted after game 3, yeah, I've lost this locker room. Like, he admitted that, yeah, I don't have control of this locker room right now. And that's not good. If someone's admitting that,
It's not?
if a coach is admitting that, there is serious problems, which should not come as a shock to anyone. But at the same time, I just wonder, what does Boston have to do to get over that hump? What do they gotta do?
You gotta figure it out, because if these gentlemen do not figure it out...
Here's an idea. Maybe they don't get over the hump, and
I know.
the world is a better place for that.
World will be, and I think the documentation on a beautiful legacy of failure will be done on this, and it'll be historically counted in sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have to say this about Boston. I think the problem is their biggest stars always seem to disappear at the worst possible moments.
Yeah.
Last year, it was Tatum versus Golden State. This year, it was Jaylen Brown versus Miami.
Yep. Agreed.
And an even bigger problem, they're fucking entitled racist assholes.
We'll just call them entitled dicks.
Yeah.
By the way, NBA fans who are not from Boston, you're welcome for 2022. You're welcome.
I don't... whatever.
Yeah, well, speaking of NBA champions, I guess we'll talk about this, then we'll go to the NHL. Congrats to the Nuggets. They were the most...
We did that! Grand Rapids gold, baby! We did that!
Yes, they were by far the most deserving team. Like, the minute they got past Phoenix, it's like, this team's winning the championship. I know it.
The thing that I thought, did you guys see the SML video about Brooklyn guys' depression after the Heat lost? If that doesn't encapsulate how every sports fan feels when their team is eliminated from the playoffs, I don't know what does. I do. It's perfect. Because when the Leafs lose, that is exactly how I feel. Every time. If you haven't watched the Brooklyn guys' depression, just watch it, because it's...
what
nails
perfectly encapsulates that for me? That one video of, like, Parappa the Rappa and Daffy Duck being like, I slammed my penis in the car door.
Ooh!
You know what perfectly encapsulates me, the feeling of being knocked out in the playoffs? Just getting kicked in the balls, that's pretty much it.
I slammed my penis.
I didn't even feel sad when the Mariners got eliminated, man. I was so happy that we were just in the playoffs. And we played more innings versus the Astros than the fucking Yankees did. So that was kind of nice. I felt happy about that. Sure, we got eliminated, but hey, we lasted longer than the Yankees did technically. So who is the real final?
Yep.
See that? We felt good about that because we fucking hate the Yankees. But for the Heat
Nuggets,
though, I really think the Heat should be doing anything and everything they can to acquire a superstar to play along Jimmy Butler because they're another superstar away from
Damian Lillard.
winning
Agreed.
it.
Yes,
They're
yes,
another
yes.
superstar away
There's
from
this
winning
guy
it all.
that maybe there's this guy maybe Miami should think about. You might have heard of him. His name is Hassan Whiteside. I just can't picture him in a Heat jersey though.
I think a really good one would be what was it? Bradley Beal.
Yeah, he's the Beal deal.
Yes,
I have a good
that's-
one. The
that's-
Miami Heat should sign Denzel Valentine to a max contract. I think that would be a great deal. And speaking of, I just gotta say this. I love how we've got this team is so forgettable now that like genuinely the fan of this team forgot to talk about them, and personally I'm okay with not having to talk about the Bulls.
Oh yeah, Bulls got eliminated. Try again.
Bulls, it is. Bulls.
It feels like any team that we didn't mention, and it's like the Sonic failure music, and then try again next year.
Yeah.
I got something better for those fine fellas.
That's
No,
perfect.
please rebuild or
That's
something. Please rebuild. But I want to say this: the Nuggets showed one of the best ways possible to build up an NBA team. They built it perfectly.
They did good. Also,
And
GG
all it
Snick.
took was creating an NBA G League team out in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yeah, and having your superstar get drafted during a Taco Bell commercial. That's all it takes, ladies and
Bring
gentlemen.
back the quesarito, fuckers!
Yo, the quesarito's so good.
Why'd they get rid of it? Because they're Nazis. I tell you, Nazis.
All right. Anyways, GG's to Nick. We swept your ass. Sorry.
Yeah.
GG.
Hate to see it.
Hate to see it. F in the chat.
Okay, now it's time to talk about the NHL, and I'm sure we know what
Hockey.
team we want to pick at first.
Yeah,
Minnesota
me.
Mild.
Get it out of the way. Ha ha ha. More
Well,
like the
here's the
Miles.
thing,
Ha, ha,
right?
ha.
Here's
Real
okay.
Kirill.
Okay.
Ha, ha, ha,
Here's the
ha.
thing.
Matt Dumbass.
Hold
Ha,
up.
ha,
Hold
ha,
up.
ha,
Hold
ha.
up. Hold
No
up.
hockey state.
Okay,
Ha,
okay,
ha,
stop.
ha.
The thing about Minnesota, it was like they were up 2-1. They were fighting really hard, and then just tires popped out of the car. Simply put,
I can
tires popped out of your car.
I can tell you exactly what the Wild did wrong. They didn't have a number one center. It's been an issue since Kaprizov has been in America. Get a number one center, whether that's through the draft or in a trade with the Jets. Get a number one center for the love of all that is holy, and unholy too, just to cover our bases.
And no, you guys are not getting Logan Couture, so stop asking.
No. I wasn't asking you. I wasn't asking for Couture.
Are you
Not at
talking
all.
about Dubois?
Yeah, Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
get
heard
him,
him
get him,
rumored
get
to
him.
Minnesota.
I'm hearing
The thing
Pierre-Luc
with
Dubois
Minnesota-
more linked to Montreal.
Heard
Oh, yeah,
that,
'cause he's
I
from
want to say
Quebec.
this. If you look at the chat, like you look at the fucking Sickos executive room chat, like yeah, this is the Wild. Literally F1 car, the Red Bull losing both tires. That right there is the Wild.
That's a perfect embodiment of all Minnesota sports, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My thing with the Wild is like, look, I am glad that they are a lot more exciting now than they used to be, which is nice to see, very nice to see, but yeah, like that one video I posted after the Leafs won their first round series of them, like the Kung Fu Panda scene of literally like my time has come. And literally just the Leafs passing the torch to the fucking Wild, like that is where the Wild are at now. You need to beat the first round allegations.
You know what? I'm just happy we're a more exciting first round exit as opposed to when we were under the stewardship of guys like Mike Yeo or Bruce Boudreau.
I mean, the one thing that I will
Remember Mike Yeo?
One thing I will say, I think what the Minnesota really
Like,
needs
yo.
to do is they got to start matching like the talent. They got to start matching the strides of the Stars and the Avalanche, teams that I think have just purely better rosters than Minnesota.
I think you know, our I think our best you know, strat is to look at what the Florida Panthers were doing, because they were basically doing what the Wild were doing in the regular season, and they made it work in the playoffs. We just need to figure out what strategies work for them.
Very true. Very.
And also,
true.
we need a number one center. If I didn't make that clear enough, I love Joel Eriksson. Heck, I love Ryan Hartman. They're just not number one material.
Still Bergeron for the Bruins. Still Bergeron from the Bruins. Do it for the lulz.
Okay, so should we talk about the Bruins now? I think it's time to talk about it.
Yes. Yes.
It's time to talk about it, and I want to make my piece very quick because I've been planning this part of the fucking roast for a while. Bruins, not only did you have such a historical season end in such a failure, such a funny fucking failure, that Tree had his Congrats Bruins video get more views than his NFL draft video, not only did you blow a 3-1 lead, a 3-1 series lead to a Florida Panthers team that needed 5 separate miracles to get into the playoffs in the first place, you wasted a historically great season just to blow it like that. Not only that, you had to watch your former head coach win the Stanley Cup and destroy the team that embarrassed you. How great do you feel now, Boston? How great do you feel now? 'Cause I can guarantee this, if I'm Bruce Cassidy, I'm bringing that Stanley Cup trophy into the fucking city of Boston and literally just, I'm bringing it in front of TD Garden and I am literally just fucking showing it off, and just pissing on the Bruins' grave. That's what I'm doing right there.
I love
Do
it.
it.
I
Bruce Cassidy, if you're listening to
fucking
this,
love
do
it.
it.
You know, the nice thing about being a Minnesota Wild fan is that you know, we have our playoff failures, we have our shitty moments, but I always have the solace of knowing there's always a shittier playoff failure, and that always takes the heat off. It's great.
All I can say about you Bruins, y'all make the Sharks team clutch. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's all you have to say.
It's absolutely hilarious that, like, Tim, literally, like, it's like, and I say now, the fact that they had to watch their former coach do that, I think this is even worse than what the Lightning did in 2019. I truly believe it.
It is.
This is even worse.
Well, I would
least the
not
Lightning have
say
hope.
worse because at least they've won games
They won
yeah.
games, but at the same
and could
time,
have realistically won
But
in
at
7.
what cost? They won games, but at what
They
cost?
Here's the thing:
Smarter.
the Lightning, the 2019 Lightning, the aura around that was like Lightning in 3, LMFAO, and they got their asses swept by Columbus, who at the time
against Toronto.
was a bigger. Also, by the way, this is the Stanley Cup Finals.
Oh shit! It's you and me, Aiden, up against this Luke guy.
And Brock Moxley. Don't forget Brock Moxley. He doesn't
Oh,
even
boy.
He doesn't even have a baby voice.
Oh fuck!
I'm Brock Moxley, and oh good lord, your team is so good. You have 100. Oh my! I'm gonna be happy if we win one game. Look at that fucking stark
What the
difference.
I mean, that's what happens when you have like 2 top players in the top line.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways,
Boston, you suck.
Boston, here's the thing. It's a funny failure, but it's not as funny as the Lightning were. Because the Lightning were just embarrassingly swept.
Yours is more like...
Yours is just
Lightning-
more ha ha ha
Lightning
because I hate Boston.
Lightning shit themselves harder, but I feel like Boston choked harder.
Yeah.
They choked harder by blowing that 3-1 lead.
Yeah.
not to mention, they didn't win a game at home after game 1, and I think that's the most pathetic stat to come out of
Yeah.
all this.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. But anyways,
And the
Boston.
fact that this was
Buddy, I think you're getting too much enjoyment out of this.
I enjoy their suffering because I hate the Bruins.
Yeah,
I
I
hate
don't-
you. I hate you. I hate you.
considering-
Fuck you.
I don't
Fuck you.
blame
Fuck
them,
you,
'cause-
Boston.
I don't
Oh,
blame him because
okay.
considering that I went to the fucking Westgate today, and you wanna know what I saw airing on the NHL Network? Bruins Canucks Game 7. I saw that airing while eating at a buffet.
Aww.
Really? Right in front of my
Aw.
fucking salad?
Aww. Aw, what the hell?
Laughing. I don't blame him for laughing like a fucking joker. I don't blame him.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my Joker laugh moment
Alright.
later on.
We will. Okay.
Yeah,
Also, Avs getting knocked out first round. They better. What's going on with Nichushkin? Because it
That's
bad.
do not
I'm not
look.
touching that with a 10-foot pole, bro.
Here's the
What-
thing.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's bad. It doesn't look good for him, but it also doesn't look good for the women either. Oh boy, especially since he's one of their top players and they've lost their captain now for all of next year.
Shit, I feel dirty just talking about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're in trouble. I think we should just leave it at that. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
for
I'm-
Nichushkin,
I'm-
I hope that your picture gets painted more clearly so we may have judgment on you.
yeah.
Other
There is a
than
team,
that-
however, that I want to shit on harder though. Not harder than Boston though, because Boston is in their own tier. But
Yeah.
this team deserves to be shat on for their playoff failure. The Rangers.
Oh, jumping. Jesus the Rangers.
Oh my
Is it
god.
is it time to finally talk about Claude Julien as a no wait is it time to finally talk about Gerard Gallant as a choker?
Gallant got
Yeah.
fought axe too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was like, I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, people wonder, like, well, how did the Rangers do? It's like, well, it got Gallant fired. That should tell you a lot to begin with.
They've
The
spent
fact-
a lot of their draft capital on acquiring, exciting. Like when they got both Patrick Kane and
Vladimir
Tarasenko.
Vladimir Tarasenko, they were exciting to watch. I think the
And
first game that they played together once against Seattle, and my whole thought process was, I'm in danger. That was my thought process the whole time. Good God.
I'm just gonna say it. Like, what the hell happened to Lafreniere? I thought this guy was supposed to be a generational talent. What the hell? What the hell?
Well, here's the thing. You think of it this way. Both Lafreniere and Capo Caco have not lived up to expectations. They're still quite young, too. So there's lots of room to grow to grow into. Some players, they blossom in late. Remember, these kids are drafted at 18. 18!
Now,
They're drafted.
I mean,
So they're
the
like
thing I
in their
noticed with the
they're in their early 20s right now, and trading
thing I noticed-
trading these guys away, you would be foolish to do that.
yeah, I agree. It's just the thing is, though, the thing I've noticed with the Rangers, and this goes well beyond the previous regime. This goes well beyond Gallant. This goes, honestly, far back. I've noticed they have serious problems with developing young talent. Because you want to know how I've seen it firsthand? Brett Howden. I've seen it firsthand with Brett Howden because he flopped with the Rangers, and yet he's starting to develop with the Golden Knights. And what I saw, especially this postseason when he was lined with Stone and Stevenson.
Well, I mean,
That's
pretty
true.
much.
Could be.
There was a whole era where it was pretty much just King Henrik, and that was it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
It's like-
They'd be foolish to ditch both Capo Caco and Lafreniere. They, as much as they need to step up, you kind of, for salary cap reasons, you kind of don't.
Well, I'll say this: if he's available, I am looking to trade for him. I
Yeah.
will say
If
that
they
right
want
now.
to trade
I'm going
capital
after him.
Lafreniere, absolute. Like if the Canucks want to spend the 11th overall pick on Alexei Lafreniere,
I've heard
do
rumors
it.
about the Canucks being linked to him. I've been seeing rumors.
Do it. He's 21. He's going to be a cost controlled. Sign him to a really good cost controlled deal, right? That's a steal. The fact that also like even though for Bo Horvat, like Ratty looks pretty good. He might be a long mainstay.
Apparently Horvat had some disappointing. He had some disappointing play with the Islanders so far.
And meanwhile, Bavillier's look really good in a Canucks uniform. Like, as much as like you want to kind of shit on the Canucks, this year the Canucks managed to completely reload their defensive core. They managed to do that. They've completely reloaded their defensive core. It is much better than it was in history. They've had two of their guys are out for the season. They're gonna get Mikheyev back. They're gonna get if they can get Lafreniere too. And hopefully Puckholzen is ready. Hopefully, what was it? The other guy. I can't remember the other kid. They're high on Nico Harusi. They're really high on too as a player. Like as much as we think the Canucks are in the shitter, they're not really in the shitter.
I only say that because it gets a rise out of you. You know that?
I don't give a shit about the Canucks.
I mean, we're talking about young talent here, but in terms of the Rangers and stuff, I think we need to also talk about how a lot of their big names in that series did not show up, especially Panarin. He did not show up at all.
Oh yeah, the bread man. Where'd the bread go?
Big money man. I really hope the Rangers do something stupid because I would love it. Because from the Canucks' perspective, you know, it's a W. It's what the Canucks want. It's what major surgery is.
By the way, a quick rest in peace to Ray Lewis III, son of Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Anyways, good luck to the Rangers. Good lord.
They hired Laviolette, by the way. I just want to put that out there, and also like, you know, this feels like another high like name coaching tenure where it's like, okay, look, if this doesn't work, we really need to start having to talk about how the Rangers, no matter who they have as coach, like they cannot get over the hump if Laviolette cannot get them over the hump. I think that could be a future talking point if this does not go well, but that's for another time.
Yeah. Indeed. Anyways, Islanders. Next, thanks for Beauvillier and Ratti, and thanks for allowing us to overhaul our defensive core. And
thank you for playing.
Thanks for playing. Thanks for playing. Kings, thanks for playing. Get a goalie.
Thanks for the first rounder for Kevin Fiala. That was cool.
I'll say it with the Canes. I do want to say this.
Make me happy.
I want to say this with the Canes though. Like if they could genuinely get a goalie, I think they're in a lot better position. Which is, I mean, they're still going to be a playoff team, but if they can get a goalie, they can take that next step. Problem is, getting a goalie will be harder than you know.
I mean, Connor Hellebuck is available.
Is it really?
Hellebuck is available.
Okay, Hellebuck is available. Hart might be available too. Carter Hart apparently is available.
Carter Hart would be a great get.
What about Cam Talbot?
Here's the thing. Carter Hart would be such a great get for the Kings. That would be my favorite get for the Kings. I'd do that trade right now. Get Carter Hart. Younger, has a higher ceiling, has a really good high ceiling. So.
Hey Kings, are you interested in a certain James Reimer? We'll gladly give him to you for free.
Don't hear. Mixed on James Reimer now. I like James Reimer, but those
Yeah, I mean,
that he made.
I'll say this. Just hopefully, in that case, hopefully it doesn't backfire. It doesn't end up going as well for LA as much as a certain other San Jose goalie trade went for Vegas.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah. Yep. Any other than that? Try again next year.
At Tampa Bay, try again next year. Just get healthy.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I'm not done. Hold on. Whoa, we're not glossing over Tampa Bay. I need my ego
I know.
strong.
It sounded like you were ready to go to the second round. It's like, hey, yeah, maybe we should talk about Tampa.
Oh no, we're not. We're gonna save Tampa for last. Winnipeg Jets are blowing it up. LMFAO. Try again next millennia.
Yeah, goodbye, Winnipeg.
Yeah.
More like when it got pegged.
Maybe move to Arizona again.
Yep. Okay. As for the Lightning, there's a lot of emotions that I felt. Some of you guys saw my real live reaction. I think it was Nick, Adam, and Jake.
And me.
So, okay, right. You were there. You saw my live reaction. Oh, I never felt such. This is gonna be a 2-for-1, by the way. Euphoria.
Yeah, I remember that because that gave me a thing to be like, boy, that reminds me of how happy I was after the Minneapolis Miracle.
Mm-hmm. It's the reason why you just love sports. It's these moments as a sports fan that makes most of the pain and suffering worth it, or at least half of it pretty worth it.
Yeah, just like there was a thread going around Twitter the other day that was like, why do men love sports so much?
The euphoria that you get from these moments it's amazing. It's awesome. It's indescribable to non-sports fans. It is a beautiful thing to witness. The fact that like the Leafs managed to come from behind a 4-1. Come back from being down 4-1 and winning it in overtime. That felt so nice. I
remember because like
honestly, like the ire from Boston losing, that's gone, man. That's gone. The ire of losing to Boston in Game 7 that one year, it's gone. That pain is gone.
2 years actually.
Well, no. Like released for up 4-1, right? That one. Specific.
It was 4-1 series.
Yeah, that specific. That specific one. That felt good. I felt happy. The good vibes you just get from that. It was awesome. And as for the Lightning, I think they're going to get healthy. They'll get better, but there's some really questions about young pieces that they're starting to bet on. Their depth is getting older.
There's free agents too.
Mm-hmm. There's lots of free agents too. And the big thing to note, that division is only going to get harder. We all thought Boston was going to take a step back. They might actually literally now finally take a step back, which might be the only thing, but there's so many rising powers. Buffalo. They're going to be a team to watch. You're going to have the Red Wings and the Senators.
I was going to say, if Detroit doesn't Detroit it up again, the Red Wings might have something.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And they're able to kind of reload on their homegrown talent too. This is a really good draft class as well. But, like, the Senators are going to look good soon. Montreal's bound to rise up. This division is only going to get harder. It is going to get much more difficult. Only 5 of them can make the playoffs. It is going to be much harder. It is probably the toughest division to make the playoffs in all of hockey. Good.
Over for the Lightning.
Mm-hmm. It might not be over, but just a heads up, treasure those cups and recognize it's going to be a lot hard. It's going to be a lot harder. Same goes for Toronto. And as for Toronto, there's this great quote that I used to go to church, right? I still remember this great quote. Sometimes in your life's greatest highs, the devil is just only digging a hole for you to fall right into it.
That's not a quote I remember from church.
Well,
a pastor.
It's a pastor from a pastor. Each church is different. Each church is different, but it's
well, mine said, like if you touch yourself, you're touching the devil.
different. We're clearly with different congregations. We were Mennonite. They sound very Catholic-like. Different. I'm Mennonite. So
You're a Mennonite? Whoa, that's crazy!
I know.
I mean you like all the time in Smash.
No, I'm Mennonite. We believe that's where I like the Mennonites. I think we have the best philosophy out of all churches because guess what? Everybody is welcome. Now deal with it. I like that mindset. Everybody should be absolutely welcome. Man. That's why I appreciate my church's
Amen.
message.
I love that.
Because the message on one of the sides is everybody is welcome. You're always welcome in God's house. The philosophy with that church is it's an open door philosophy. You can never close God's doors. You can't. If someone can close those doors, guess what? People are still walking through it. People are still going to be walking through it.
Imagine if NHL championship windows worked like that.
Yeah. Sadly, they don't. But sadly, the message is, sometimes in your highest highs, they somehow manage to fall into the lowest of lows, and to top that off, we have to have a little thing I like to call a bad reffing. And what's that, folks?
It's really, in the end, basically a skill issue.
Oh, bad reffing! I thought you said bad rapping and that you're gonna pull out like a cringy ass rap.
No, I said reffing.
Oh, I thought you.
Antonio Brown. Hold
No,
on
he's
a
gonna
minute.
pull Florida chance. That's what he's gonna pull out.
No, I was gonna put skill issue, boys. Maybe next time we should just rip it and grip it from the point instead of poking it in. Yes, it was in the net, and yes, we should be going to Game 6. We should be, but you know what? We didn't bribe the rest with enough money. And skill issue, we're in Canada, so maybe next time, don't be in Canada. I don't fucking know. Maybe next time we'll just play in, I don't know, fucking Kansas City. Move the team to Kansas City. Then maybe we'll win a Stanley Cup because Gary Bettman will allow us to win. But the skill issue, we're a Canadian hockey team. Of course, Gary Bettman's never going to let us win.
That being said, give us some fire bars, yo.
I'm not doing that.
I want to say this though, because I want to say this regarding Toronto though, because I think this summed it up best. Because Steve said this, they ran out of miracles. That's all. That's really what happened. They ran out of miracles.
Oh, I've been there before.
Yeah, you can't have a huge miracle run in the playoffs. They got outplayed by Tampa in the first round, 100%. But the fact that you have somebody like Marner and Matthews, who still, at the end of the day, no matter how you crumble this cookie, this is where they are at. They are at a point. I'm literally at a point where I'd rather just blow it up, but at the same time, you don't want to blow it up because they're in like the best years of hockey. They're in the best years of hockey. They're in their mid-20s. It's not like they're in their late 30s. They're in their mid-20s. They are in the primes of their career right now. You would be ridiculous to trade any one of them. I still think the good thing from this series is that if Joseph Woll is as advertised as he is, we'll be just fine.
I just have one thing to ask regarding Leafs fans and stuff. What the fuck is going on with Keefe? Because I don't know if he's gonna be back or not. He's staying. Are they just like waiting to make it official or something?
Yeah, I think he's staying. I gotta say, with how Dubas went, he's gonna win a Stanley Cup before Toronto does.
Yeah.
He's somebody that moved heaven and earth and got this team 2 extra wins.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
The definition of moving heaven and earth, 2 wins.
I will say this though. Regarding Dubas. I will say this. I wonder, he did take the Pittsburgh job, which that was rumored for a while. So I do wonder what happens because Seems committed to Pittsburgh, which, yeah, I can see why, but I do wonder what happens if, say, something like the Ottawa job opens up or something, because apparently he had a lot of interest in that, too.
I think he sticks with Pittsburgh for a while, because if you just completely abandon Pittsburgh in the middle of like a rebuild, that's not a good look.
Yeah.
That's not a good look. And the fact that he has got Jason Spezza as his assistant GM, I'm not kidding. Jason Spezza is his assistant GM.
Yeah, I heard
That's
something
what
about...
pissed me off the
something
most.
like that.
It's just how it all unraveled. Like, Jason Spezza genuinely wants to win with the Toronto organization and have him win a Stanley Cup. 100%. But the fact that now he's a GM in Pittsburgh and could easily win a Stanley Cup with this team. Maybe he might not, but hopefully they can put this team in the right direction. It hurts. It hurts because it really felt like Spezza would sign on to be the Leafs' brush in case they needed a veteran piece in the playoffs again. It's what it really, really felt like.
I think you have too much faith in the Pittsburgh Penguins. They're gonna be...
It's more over faith in Kyle Dubas. I still say the Pittsburgh Penguins will win a Stanley Cup before the Toronto Maple Leafs do.
I'll say this with the Penguins. I'll say this: they're handling things. I know, and I know what I'm about to talk about is not a playoff team, but I feel like I just want to give them a brief mention. They're handling things better than the Blue Jackets are. I'll just say that right now. just wanted to mention
Well,
Columbus
I mean, the Blue
briefly.
Jackets have overhauled their defensive core. They're going to get a massive prospect to join them. They've loaded up on draft capital in a really good draft.
I like that. My problem is, yeah.
They still have what the guy from Calgary that abandoned them to willingly sign with them still. They're gonna get healthier. Columbus is in a better position than Pittsburgh.
They are.
Yeah, Johnny Hockey.
Yeah, Johnny
In terms
Gaudreau.
of talent, they'll be a lot healthier. I expect them to be better. It's just there's two things that are red flags to me. Number one, trading a first-round pick for Ivan Pro. You know who I'm talking about. Ivan.
Yep.
Fucking, I can't pronounce his last name, but it's like I know it wasn't a first-round pick, but at the same time, it's like, did you really need to trade a first for him? Really? Did you really need to trade a first and prospects for him? And also, is Babcock really the best guy you could have gotten?
Oh, right.
Babcock.
Oh my god! Why did they have to hire Mike Babcock? Who's a fucking
That's my
faucet?
worry with them. Brief mention.
That is
of
a
them, but that's
concern.
my worry.
I think he's. Oh yeah, I'm thinking more about this. Yeah, I don't get this one. I don't get this one. That's true. I really don't get that one.
I can't.
Especially when you have
gonna...
a young team and Babcock doesn't like usually, especially when it's young prospects. He tends to be like, you don't make a first impression and it's you get off my team. That's what really seems like.
Can I pull out a dead meme real quick?
Sure.
Only in Ohio, ha ha ha.
I mean,
Oh yeah, that's right.
who knows?
They have
Like,
the
I
Ohio
still think
shirt.
Babcock still has a really good, minus the whole nastiness. I still think Marner's still pretty soft. I think again, Toronto is pretty soft, a soft hockey team still. I mean, for the big four, not the big bullies they have to bring in. I still think at the end of the day, when it matters the most, Toronto just doesn't do it.
Just my issue regarding Babcock is not the Toronto stuff. It's some of the stuff I learned about Detroit and the concussions, his thoughts on concussions. That's my concern.
Yeah, he has some very backwards views on concussions.
I mean,
Even
I
then,
think
regardless of that, I do think he's past his prime. He's clearly past his prime.
I mean, just
Yeah, clearly.
keep him in the Canadian juniors. He'll win with top Canadian prospects.
Yeah.
I used to confuse him and Ken Hitchcock all the time. I don't know how I did that,
Also,
but like,
GG's on game 1, fellas. Bulls win
Yeah,
3-1.
GG.
3-1. Whew!
yeah.
Bulls are up 1-0.
All right, who's next as far as
Jersey.
teams? Jersey, fucking gabagool.
It is. You did better than we thought you did. I don't have really much worries. You'll be back.
That's why I
They're-
left it
they're
at
gonna be
gabagool.
contenders.
You'll be back. They're still competitive. You'll be back.
I mean, they already signed Jesper Bratt to a contract extension. They just need to bring Timo Meyer back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
If you don't bring him back, that's gonna be a huge failure.
But
'cause,
hey,
you know,
hey! But you want to know something? At the end of the day, they have legendary goaltender Zachary Imond. I think they're set.
Iman.
if you're a Schmid, your job is in danger.
Yep. You guys have like the best goalie prospect from the Sickos perspective, so they'll be fine. They'll be.
Yeah, just like how the
Alright.
Seahawks are winning the Super Bowl because they got Jake Bobo.
100%. 100.
The man, the myth, the legend, Jake
Jake
Bobo.
Bobo. 100% Jake Bobo. Absolutely. Freaking frackin' lootly. I love it. There's two teams. Oh, Oilers!
Yeah, let's talk about the Oilers. Let's talk about the Oilers.
Or more specifically, Carter McDavid and a bunch of guys.
It's
Connor
literally
McDavid,
Connor
Leon
McDavid,
Draisaitl.
Leon Draisaitl carrying a bunch of people to greatness. That's what it always is.
I'll say this with Edmonton.
And every single fucking year, TSN is like, oh, maybe they win the cup this year, eh? Maybe this is the year that they get over the hump.
Well, that's what
Every
it's gonna
single fucking year.
Here's the thing,
'Cause I'm a
Spencer.
Knights
That's
fan
what it's
here.
gonna be every year. Especially when they bet a lot on Jack Campbell. When Leafs fans can tell him he had one good year. That was it.
Okay, so I think it's time to let the Knights fan who really saw Edmonton this series just be like, wow, this is this is kind of yikes. Because for those that like need to be reminded of this, it should be noted I had Edmonton beating Vegas before the playoffs started. I had Edmonton in the Cup Finals. I had this team basically being that team because it felt like, well, it's a high-end talent team, but it feels like this is the best version of this high-end talent team I have ever seen from this Oilers team, especially with obviously their deadly power play and all that, and the fact that they found a reliable and young goalie in Stuart Skinner. So it's like, well, Edmonton just finally feels like this is going to be the year they get over it, and they didn't. They didn't get over that hump.
They shat the bed.
And when the signs really started to show, game one against Vegas, because that was basically Draisaitl having one of the best games of the playoffs, and it going to waste because Edmonton does not know how to handle an empty net situation. They genuinely got called for too many men on the ice because they didn't know how to properly get the goalie off the damn ice. So it ended up costing them a chance against arguably the worst empty net team in hockey in Vegas. So it's like, yeah, that was a bad sign. That was a bad sign from game one. I mean, granted, they did destroy us in game two, but then in game three, we ended up destroying them, which was also the emergence of Aiden Hill, because Warren Brossoit got injured with an unfortunate injury. I'm still very glad that Edmonton Oilers fans treated him with respect while he was going to the locker room. But yeah, that was the birth of Aiden Hill right there this postseason. Of course, game 4 they did bounce back, but like game 5 and game 6, it really encapsulated the issues this series, because it's like there was a lot of low defense moments for the Oilers, because I feel like the Oilers defense has gotten an infamous reputation over the years. Like there is no other area where I see teams, a fan base shit on their defense more than Oilers fans. And honestly, for good reason, because, those last two games were not great. And it's Like Game 5, we managed to win, but Game 6, that was when it truly felt like Edmonton's funeral. It was when Edmonton's funeral had arrived, because yeah, they got outplayed. I mean, even when it felt like they were getting shots, it meant jack shit because it wasn't getting close to the net. Because like Vegas just completely neutralized them. Like they made good use of their opportunities, did better with it, and Edmonton was just they were just not a match for that. They were just no match for it, and it was a moment where to sum up this series, literally everyone outside of like McDavid and Draisaitl truly disappeared. Like that joke became true this series because Darnell Nurse was nowhere to be found. Fucking fucking Evander Kane was nowhere to be found. You talk all that, say we're gonna fuck around and find out. The only one who fucked around and found out was you. Genuinely, you played like fucking shit. You played like absolute shit. And it's like also, and I think a big reason Edmonton failed, and I mentioned him in talking about why I had them going far. Stuart Skinner just wasn't ready. He was not ready for it. He's young. He's got an insane amount of potential, but he just was not ready for the playoffs yet. The playoffs were just too big. The lights were too bright, and it really says something when he was doing so bad that Oilers fans were calling for Jack Campbell to start. I want you to realize that Oilers fans were calling for Campbell to start because of Skinner's struggles.
Yeah,
like that was not great.
That's bad.
And it's like Edmonton. My thing is, I just wonder, like with the Oilers, and for Skinner, I hope that doesn't destroy his confidence or anything, because he is just a young guy. He'll learn from it, but let's be real. There is no, in terms of a goalie. If I was a goaltender, there is like I do not want to like. There is no market harsher on goaltenders than Edmonton. That is the harshest market in my opinion to be a goalie, because they will. The minute you are not
Toronto.
viewed as
I counter with any Canadian market really.
Yeah,
Any
but
Canadian market.
Edmonton especially, because literally, I feel like so much of the media narrative, especially when they had guys like obviously, especially last season with well, not last season, but like 2022 with Mike Smith, it's like if we have a great goalie, if we literally have a great goalie, we win the Stanley Cup, and it's like, well, you had a great goalie season, yet unfortunately it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough with Stuart Skinner.
I think at the end of it, I think something that I think really needs to be discussed. This is something that usually the Oilers and the Leafs both are gonna say. It's if just the salary cap was not flat for many years straight. Think of what these teams that have high end talent could have done.
I'm just gonna say it.
That's
I'm just
true.
gonna.
That's true. That part is true. But I'll say this: Vegas won the cup with that issue. So what's your excuse now?
That's a good point.
Skill issue right there.
That's a good point.
That's also, I'm just gonna say it. Goaltending was not an issue for Minnesota, and it's not been for years.
Goaltending has been fun. It's just getting all the pieces kind of working together.
And I'll say this, because I did praise McDavid and Draisaitl. I did praise them, but I'm gonna be real. For a lot of that series, they were kind of power play merchants. I gotta say that. Like Vegas did their best to contain them, and I gotta say this. I was not expecting to say this entering that series, but Jack Eichel outperformed Connor McDavid in that series. He really outperformed them, which is like he outperformed them. Not just like offensively, it was more even, but defensively, Eichel was excellent. Not just this series, but postseason, all postseason, he was excellent. And it's like, wow, I was not expecting to be able to say that entering that series, but that was remarkable to me as the Knights fan watching us beat Edmonton like that.
Gotta say, kind of miffed that I was completely wrong on Jack Eichel.
Jack Eichel has arrived and has been a very good impact player. Kind of Buffalo. Don't you wish you kind of had that Buffalo? No.
Well, I'll say it with Eichel. I'll say it just to get it out of the way. It's like, look, I don't know what Bruce Cassidy did to him, but I never saw Eichel in Buffalo as a guy who had a great defensive forecheck, because he did a lot of that this postseason. It was insane watching how great just how great he was defensively. Because even when he wasn't scoring goals, because he didn't score any goals in the Stanley Cup Finals, yet it didn't matter because he was making such a massive impact everywhere else.
Yeah, I like
It was
it.
insane to watch.
It's awesome. Feel really good. Feel really good for Eichel that now he's just out of that shitty situation in Buffalo. Because good lord, that was bad. Buffalo kind of maybe looks like they've kind of turned the page a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they got Jordan Greenway. Thanks for the second, by the way, I guess.
But yeah, I'll say it. Locker room cancer, my ass.
100%. More like we're just a shithole organization.
Yeah.
Well, I
Finish it
mean,
off
it's the
with Edmonton.
Pagulos.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
to finish it
the
off-
Bills, they've had hands off the Bills. They've been successful. It looks like they're starting to have hands off on the Sabres as well.
Yeah, it's just, but I'll finish it with Edmonton. It's just, I do wonder, okay, because next season I think it's really gonna be a huge season, because it's like, yeah, if they get knocked out in like the second round again, there's gonna be a lot of narratives with this Oilers squad. There's gonna be a lot of narratives about whether or not they can get over that hump or not. If this ends up being the same result next season.
Well, I still say that's still the narrative. You have the
It is the
greatest.
narrative,
You
but
have the best player, and it feels like the Oilers have done a lot, but yet have done nothing at the same time.
Yeah, honestly, that's the best way to sum them up. Like, really, like, honestly, yeah, they do a lot, but it still feels like not enough.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say the thing. Their GM is Ken Holland.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Don't be sad.
Yeah.
This is just how it works out sometimes.
Like, bruh, of course this is gonna happen like this. You're the fucking GM of your GM of the Oilers is the guy who fucking ruined the Red Wings with the goddamn streak.
But the streak still lives. We keep making it to the second round. The streak.
The streak lives.
My God, the streak. I mean, I think realistically, if Ken Holland's the GM, winning the Stanley Cup is probably going to be the worst thing for the Oilers. I'm going to say it. They're going to win the Stanley Cup and become.
Yeah.
I feel like if the Oilers were to win the Stanley Cup with Ken Holland as their GM, they are not going to even sniff the playoffs for the rest of their time that McDavid is on board.
I think that really sums up the Oilers. I think
That's how it
did them
really sums
But
up.
yeah,
They're either
all you need is
playoff
3 words.
contending-
The streak lives.
Yeah. Other than that, they'll keep making it to the second round. Now to talk about the fun team. The Seattle Kraken. They have arrived. Their prospect, and here's the key thing too. Seattle making the playoffs this year was amazing. Keyword, they still have their prospect pool intact. They have their prospect pool intact.
By the way, how's Carson Soucy for you guys?
She's hopefully going to get into a bigger role down the line. I think Susie's going to be good. But, like, here's, the big thing that I really like about what the Seattle Kraken have done. Like, they got Eli Tolvanen, who's going to be contributing in their top 6 eventually. For free. Thanks, Predators. They got him for free. They will be getting...
The Preds made a good thing with that Tanner Jeannot trade.
Well, yeah, they got stuff, but still, Eli Tolvanen is 23 and young and has top 6 potential. And you gave him away for nothing. They gave him away. It's like, thanks Nashville. That's like literally taking candy off a shelf. Meyer looks really good. The key to Seattle's future is Shane Wright. And there's already concern about him.
By the way, thanks Pittsburgh for that one.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Thanks for Chris Tanev and our captain. Thanks.
Not Chris Tanev, Brandon Tanev.
Oh, sorry, Brandon Tanev. Sorry, I've rooted for both Tanevs. I like both Tanevs. They're both good. And not to mention they'll get Bobrovsky back from injury next year. The key to the Kraken's success, and for them being a long mainstay, is Shane Wright.
Yeah, Shane Wright, definitely.
What happened to Wright? What are the issues with him?
Well, the issues with him is he has a really bad attitude problem. That's kind of that too. Like even with the Firebirds right now, he's been mostly a scratch. He hasn't played well. He's been like a healthy scratch from time to time. He hasn't been productive in the playoffs for the Firebirds. And next year they might just say send him. They might just say send him to the OHL. When this guy was labeled as the best player, it really feels like, remember when the Oilers drafted first overall pick Notorious Bust? Is it
Yakupov?
Remember what the Leafs GM at the time, Brian Burke, said? He said they took him off the draft board because of attitude problems. He didn't last long in the NHL, and if you have attitude problems at the NHL level, if you are having massive attitude problems at this level, that is very, very worrisome, especially since they spent a high first-round pick, and especially when a lot of the success of the future, we're talking like Stanley Cups and a dynasty, where it lies on, can he grow up and become the superstar that he's supposed to be? Is he gonna be that guy?
I just want to say the Oilers missed out on Philip Forsberg in that draft.
Yeah. Like, they whiffed on a lot of players. And especially Seattle, too. Seattle could have gotten the guy that scored the game winner for Canada in the juniors. He was there, too.
Yep.
He was there, too.
I just think with the Kraken, I just have this question. I think it's just a fun question. Can it take them less years to win a Stanley Cup than it did the Golden Knights? I think that's just a fun question. Under 6.
That is a fantastic question. I like that question a lot. Can it get done?
It's possible.
It is. It's
all right. Who else do we have to talk about?
Impossible. So I think that's all of them. Now the Finillies. The Stars. We had the classic.
Yes, I get to talk about the Stars and shit all over their fucking grave.
Easy, Tiger. Chill. Whoa.
I hate all of you. What the heck? I just got here.
Chill. They beat your ass. I'm about to show Florida some respect. Easy. It's the classic year where what was their coaching? Oh, I forget their coach.
Peter DeBoer, first year Magic.
Yep.
Yeah, Peter DeBoer. Fuck you, and also fuck you, Ryan Suter.
Chill. You
can't believe you're about to have both your contracts bought out. I can't believe that Dallas Stars thought it was ever a good idea to sign you to that big of a contract. If we would have known that would have been the case, we would have fucking stolen a goddamn player from them. I can't believe their GM is so fucking stupid, but that's only because...
But they made the finals! They made the Western Conference Finals and have had multiple deep runs in the playoffs. Nick Robinson looks good. That's not even like... That's just at the tip of my tongue. They've got lots of star potential.
Quit wasting your fucking goalie.
Sorry, I meant Again, I cheer for Nick Robinson. I got mixed up by the brothers.
But yeah, quit wasting your fucking goalies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
well,
mean, but here's the
that's
thing: they have a young goalie that might be an absolute superstar. That's something to commend them for. But typical Peter DeBoer, first year.
Typical stars wasting their goalie.
No.
You know,
It's
this.
Peter DeBoer. It's all Peter DeBoer.
I
No,
wanna
no,
say-
no, no, no. I have
Fear
seen
the
this
bar.
for years with the Dallas Stars. They have a great goalie. They make a kind of deep run, and then then their goalie gets left for dead as
He's not wrong about that too. I remember Marty Turco. I remember how good Marty Turco was.
that
Marty
2007 series.
Marty Turco was a really good goalie.
Yeah.
There's a really good goalie, and I hated his ass because he was a rival.
Yeah.
Who else was a really good goalie for Dallas that got left high and dry?
Oh, Ben Bishop.
Ben Bishop.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Ben Bishop.
I remember that Game 7 against St. Louis?
Oh fuck! How they couldn't score, bro. They couldn't score.
Yep. It's a lot of offensive in their problem. I think they're gonna should be fixed down the line, but it's will Peter DeVore change his stance on things, or
I want
will?
to say this because it's time for the Vegas fan who also saw the Stars team at their see what they really were made of, and yeah, there's some things to take away. The first thing I'll say is this, and I'm saying this as a Vegas fan because I gave this man a lot of shit when he was with us, and my thoughts, my reflection on Peter DeBoer is this: he's not a bad coach, but he will never be a great head coach. That is my thoughts. He's a fine coach, but he'll never be a great head coach. And the reason I say that is because I'm really interested in seeing how he does after his first season, because he's called for it. The first year Peter DeBoer has gotten its own name for a reason, because it's usually downhill from there.
Exactly.
Next point I want to make is Ryan Suter. This man was absolute garbage. There is
Like I said, how did he get a
chance.
second contract?
There is a genuine
the
chance
fuck?
the Stars are in the Stanley Cup Finals and possibly, very possibly, could have won if Ryan Suter was not a fucking idiot. Because, good God, he made so many awful plays. This series, it was not even funny. He was a massive reason why Game 2 went to overtime. He was a big reason why they were down 3-0 to begin with.
He was a big reason why Minnesota was in that series for as long as they were.
Yeah, and it's like, goddamn, that was a excellent showcase of why you were absolute garbage. So, great job to Ryan Suter for that. I also want to give another shout out to a player, Jamie Benn. We should talk about Jamie Benn for his
Ooh,
actions.
yeah.
'Cause, I'll just say it right now, Jamie Benn should never be
What
a
an
captain
idiot.
in the NHL again. That was pathetic. Like, that was a pathetic performance by him in that series.
Especially when you're
Not
the
just-
captain.
Not just on the stats, but of course, game 3, the absolute disaster of a game 3 that was for the Dallas Stars. The way Jamie Benn acted, getting himself suspended for literally 2 games, getting himself suspended, and then of course that's not even getting to the way Dallas Stars fans reacted in that game, which was equally, if not worse, than the way Jamie Benn acted. And then of course, the important stat of it all, the Stars against the Golden Knights this series were 0-4 with Jamie Benn playing. I mean, that game 6 was basically a funeral. Like the minute Vegas just made it once again 3-0 in the first period, it was over. Like, that game was a literal funeral.
It was Grover.
That was an absolute massacre right there. And as a Vegas fan who had to hear people joking about, oh, the Knights are gonna blow a 3-0 series lead, they're gonna get reverse swept. That was fucking glorious to watch it get absolutely killed immediately. So that
It was glorious for me too, but for different
like
reasons.
Dallas, it's
Yeah.
like I definitely think Dallas. They're a young team. I mean, they're very young. I mean, Ottinger's still great. I'll admit, I was expecting better from him this postseason. Like, he was still great, but there was definitely good amount of more games where I was like, yeah, that's not exactly his greatest performance. I've seen not exactly a good performance from him, but at the same time, he'll be fine. Well, hopefully he'll be fine. I just hope that knowing history does not repeat itself with Peter DeBoer and his goalies.
I
I
mean,
just hope that's not the case.
at the end of the day, it feels so much like they're good but not great. And when
Like, I mean, I think they can be.
Good,
I
but
think,
not good enough, if you will.
yeah,
well,
I think
it's
they're
not that
kind
not
of.
necessarily good enough. It's just that are they just going to be a good hockey team, or are they going to be a great hockey team? And
I mean,
it's the
yeah, it's
sheer
just,
difference of are they going to win it all, or are they just going to be a good hockky team? It's like
I hope
a
they don't
B
win.
It's like being a B student from an A student.
of course. I mean, praise to Jason Robertson because he basically was basically the main reason that series got taken to 6. But the thing, and it's like I really hope they don't waste him because he is fun to watch. But at the same time, it's like Dallas has young talent that's very good for them. But at the same time, of course, it's all gonna really depend on how they use them, how they end up, you know, making use of that young talent, and can they really make that deep run that Dallas fans are waiting for? Can they make it all in?
Well,
And that's gonna be
they've had deep playoff runs. It's now at this point, can you win the cup? Yes or no?
yeah.
By the way,
Basically.
Ryan Suter is still on contract for 2 more years with a no movement clause.
Have fun.
Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that, Dallas. Good luck with
The
that.
fact that this man could be potentially bought out of 2 contracts is hilarious.
By the way, Spencer, you're gonna love what I put in on the chat.
Oh yeah, like I said, fuck you, Norm. You
Yeah.
broke my goddamn heart.
You broke the man's heart, man. You broke the man's heart.
But yeah, now I think it's time to talk about the team who ended up having the most heartbreaking playoff series of any team, because they lost 4 of the most agonizing hockey losses you will ever see.
Oh my
And
The
that is,
god.
bonanza of doom.
yep.
Oh my god. Could
truly
you
do
be
wonder.
any worse than the Hurt? Could you feel like it's not the fact that they got swept in overtime fashion. It's the fact that they've lost 11 games in a row.
Actually, no, 12. 12 in the Eastern Conference
12
Finals,
in
I
the
believe.
Eastern Conference Finals in a row. They could not buy themselves a win when it mattered the most.
It's like
They could not. Like, the fact that you can't even win one. And overtime, it's got to be like the greatest toss-up in
it's like the
history.
hockey version of the Buffalo Bills.
No, I say Green Bay Packers.
Carolina had the. Actually, I don't know. Like, I see some similarities between them, but at the same time, Carolina does have a title.
Yeah.
That,
Well, so
that's
do the
true.
Packers. I feel like it's the Packers. They're so much like the Packers. They are so much.
What happened to your PS5?
I just turned it off.
Oh, we're still live.
Yeah, we're
just so
still
you know.
live. I know.
Oh yeah, we have that sick ass
Yeah, we got
thumbnail.
this. Our to-do pile's much shorter than this.
Yeah.
We're almost done. But it's heartbreaking for the Canes, but it's the same question I have for the Stars. At some point you gotta have it. Freddie Anderson is good. Is Freddie Anderson good enough just to get you to the promised land?
I always called him the Great Dane.
No, can he get you there? He's a good goalie, but can he really bring you to the promised land?
He's the goodest boy.
I think the Canes, what they need is like one more star forward, because I think once, Stretch and Teravainen went down.
Yeah, but like their whole team went down, and it's just injuries and injuries and injuries. But at this point,
I'm just gonna say it. I don't think Rod Brindamore's a good head coach.
I wouldn't go that far. I think he's a. I'm not going. I mean, to
Heads
be
though?
fair, Carolina was also injured. I think he's a strong head coach. I
Yeah.
like Rod Brindamore, but I'm gonna say this. I will say this though. Why did he have to say we didn't? Why did he have to make the quote of saying we didn't truly get swept? I know what he was trying to go for. He's saying we were competitive in all those games, but like I have to agree with Steve on this. Imagine if, imagine if someone like Keefe, like for Toronto, said that shit. No
Or
one's buying that.
or fuck, I can't remember his name, but the coach for the Lightning, John Cooper.
Yep, John Cooper.
Well, yeah, imagine Cooper said that after they got swept. Okay, technically that was not competitive at all, so I don't think that would apply. But like,
Oh,
even
but-
then, imagine.
I think because
Even
in
then.
this case, it's the Hurricanes. I think there's an understandable reason, and even though it was a sweep, that series was very competitive.
Yeah, well, one can wonder what would have happened if the Hurricanes won Game 1. What could have
What would have happened if they just split the overtimes? This game could have easily gone to 7 games with multiple overtimes, like. But it's one of those ones where the Canes just came up on the wrong side of overtime, and the same issue that Toronto ran into. Bobrovsky, they got goalied.
got bobbed.
They got bobbed. Who gets bobbed? Nobody. Not one person got bobbed.
Boston got bobbed.
Boston got bobbed. Toronto got bobbed. Carolina got bobbed. At the end of the day, I think maybe this year you can, call it okay. But, like, if this happens next year and it's kind of the same story where it's good but not good enough, there's got to be some massive changes for them.
Yeah, strike 2, Canes. Strike 2.
Strike 2.
If they, obviously, because, 2022, of course, losing to the Rangers in Game 7, that was really heartbreaking. That was definitely tough if you're a Canes fan. Of course, this managed to be even more heartbreaking despite making it to the next round. But, if they can't get to the finals next season with a fully healthy, hopefully a fully healthy squad this time, because, they were badly hurt by injuries. But, if they still can't get over that hump, there's gonna be trouble. There will be trouble in the land of Brass Bonanza.
Oh yeah, Don Waddell will probably have lost his job.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
probably.
our last... Well, first of all, Nick, congratulations on the Golden Knights winning this Stanley Cup.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yes, oh god, it was so beautiful.
The first sicko to win from a professional sports teams, because, the Renegades, but
Well, since we started doing this, yeah.
Yeah, since we started doing this...
Renegade.
Well, we'll count
Congrats, man. Congrats.
Congrats
Thank
to
you.
Nick,
Thanks,
the
y'all.
first major sports team for winning the championship. Congratulations for...
Yeah.
You truly are the Giga Chad in your profile picture.
It
Yes,
is-
yes, I am very glad I have this as my profile
it is the
picture, and
fa-
also,
like, the fact that we just kind of glossed over that you made it onto ESPN.
yeah, with that profile pic, by the way.
The fact that we literally just like, oh yeah, Nick was on ESPN. Anyways, welcome Matt time, because we got so much to talk about.
Yeah.
Our to-do pile was huge.
Alright, we had a big to-do pile, and yeah, here we are. Congratulations. Golden Knights absolutely deserve to win to it. And same thing for the Florida Panthers happened, that happened to the Minnesota Wild. I think the tires just completely came off. And once,
I mean, I'll
T'Chuk
say this.
was out,
Yeah, well, yeah, T'Chuk
That
was,
was it.
God, he got battered.
that was
I mean, the
it.
thing is, the thing with Vegas that I noticed other teams, compared to other teams, is Vegas did not fall for the tricks that other teams fell against Florida. And also, obviously Vegas, and credit to the penalty kill, which had really been struggling all season. The penalty kill showed up this series. It was fantastic. Because Florida's power play was not good this series. And granted, of course, injuries didn't help with that, but the same, like obviously losing T'Chuk's gonna hurt with that. But even when T'Chuk was out there, that power play was basically a fish out of water. Genuinely, it was not doing well. And also, yeah, simply put, Vegas made Bob crumble. He made Bob crumble.
I think because the thing that
You're
really
off the force, Bobrovsky.
the thing that really pissed me off about Bobrovsky is I don't think he relatively played well against Toronto. They literally most of those chances were rebounds that they should have buried, that they just didn't. Like Bobrovsky is a goalie that will allow a lot of rebounds in. He doesn't cover up very often. Stuff just kind of bounces off of him.
He needs a good defense around him. That's what I think.
Not even that. Like when I say like rebounds that Toronto like should have had, like they like stuff that they should have studied up is they get around saying, "Hey, Sergei Bobrovsky can't handle a rebound. Let's play off of that." And what did the Knights do? They figured it out.
Do it.
Yeah, and it's funny because usually we're not, especially on the power play, which was surprisingly great this series because I mean, there's a reason our power play has always gotten the nickname of the powerless play. We have been known as the powerless play for a while now, but the fact that they really did respond by shooting and having it rebound and then shoot it back, which ends up, of course, going in the net. That was the formula right there. That was the great formula. Get shots and get
secret
goals.
formula.
You don't know how much that pissed me off to see that happen because I'm just like, dude, why the fuck didn't Toronto do any of that? That's like I said that since game 1. You have to bury those rebounds. You have to. If you're not going to bury those rebounds, then you're not going to beat the Panthers.
I think the thing is, it also has to be said because a lot of credit. I mean, Vegas' defense. I feel like there's a good argument to be. Well, there's a great argument to be made that Vegas has the best defense in hockey. I think
Absolutely.
That's a strong argument to be made.
Oh yeah.
Because
The thing about it is that if they couldn't bury the rebounds from Bobrovsky, this game's going to Game 7, and it's going to be gritty, grindy, multiple overtimes. Like, they're built. If you can't bury those rebounds against Bobrovsky, you're getting a long-ass Stanley Cup that is full of multiple overtimes. And what does Florida thrive on? Massive, heroic moments from their guys. That is critical to Florida's success. They've totally used total advantage to that, and that's how they've won.
Yep. And the thing is, but I was going back to the defensive points. Like the thing I've learned, especially especially with our defense healthy, it's like under Cassidy's system. It's like even when the shot total is high, it usually doesn't matter because a lot of those shots are either not at full force because of the defense, or they are like, well, yeah, as I said, not full force, and usually the shot would not be as strong. It's not as strong if it was against another defense, that's obviously a big reason why we did a great job containing Florida. And number 2, obviously praise has to be given to Aiden Hill, who should now be named Aiden Mountain because that man's a fucking mountain now.
Also, shout out Aiden, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I said, with that trade earlier, when I mentioned it, the goalie trade that benefited Vegas, that is going to be looked at as one of the best trades in Knights history right there.
It is. Absolutely.
And the worst trade in Sharks history.
Yeah,
Worst trade.
it is remarkable, though, with Vegas' goaltending situation, because as someone who got to see it all season, like, there was a time, especially for injuries, because originally, like, before even going back to the previous season, like, going even before Logan Thompson, Robin Lehner was supposed to be our goalie. He's out for the entire season. There's a good chance he never plays a game for us again, and that's not even getting into his financial troubles, which I don't know what's going on with that now. But then Logan Thompson's obviously our number 1 guy. Then, I mean, he does well. But then, of course, injuries strike him. So we have Aiden Hill, who ends up starting to do great. But, of course, injuries cause that to go down. Then you get Lauren Brossois, who is also, I mean, honestly, I mean, I know I talked about Aiden Hill, but also needs to be said that Vegas is also not here without Lauren Brossois, because his goaltending down the stretch was incredible. Like, it was great. I mean, I know we were in that. I know Mia, Spence, and Luke, we watched that game against the Dallas Stars with Vegas, and even though we lost in the shootouts, like, that game right there where, like, Brossois especially made that incredible save in overtime, that was like when his great run was truly birthed right there.
That was
Like,
awesome.
yeah,
That was
and of course,
incredible.
and I mean, there's a reason to Vegas, like, honestly, credit to the front office, that they knew damn well these goalie injuries weren't going away. That's why we had to trade for Jonathan Quick. And, yeah, even Quick had to make some starts, and it got so bad with our goalie injuries, like, I'm pretty sure, I need to make sure this, because this is a pretty remarkable fact, but, like, gotta be said, we had to, like, in a short time, we had to play 5 different goalies in a stretch of games. Like, genuinely, we had to play 5 different goalies.
I remember that. I remember that.
Thompson, Hill, like, obviously, yeah, Thompson, Hill, Brossois, Quick, and we had to call up our backup AHL goalie, the promising young AHL goalie, and Juri Patera. Like, we had to call him up at some point, and that's how rough our goaltending situation had gotten. Yet, in the words of the great tree, they keep winning.
That was the same thing as their first year, though. Didn't matter who was behind net, they will just keep on winning.
And that's honestly something I really noticed.
All an organization,
vibes. This team had so many vibes with the expansion season where they just found ways to win. Yeah, they just found ways to win.
I mean, as much as this, I know Sickos and Price, they will always say that Vegas was set up to win a Stanley Cup no matter what. I still say it's what good goalie play gets you, and when things just piece itself together. Now that Vegas has won their cup, let's see if Seattle can win one in the next 3 years? Is this 3 years? They have 3 years to do it.
Yeah, but I want to make it the last couple of points. Jonathan Marchessault, who I'll admit because there have been rumors like, well, Marchessault's not looking as great as he used to. Once he got chemistry with Jack Eichel, he, especially anyone who saw his playoff run, there's a reason he won the Conn Smythe, because that was incredible from the Edmonton series all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. That was incredible, watching how he performed, and obviously, it's like, and I gotta say, I gotta comment this moment right here also, but before I do, also, another great trade Vegas made, getting Ivan Barbashev. That was another great trade we made. Getting him from St. Louis and putting him on that first line with Eichel and Marchessault, that was another awesome trade from the Golden Knights. But I gotta comment on this right moment, though, from Game 5, because Bruce Cassidy made the great decision and really classy decision for Game 5 to start the Misfits. Have the Misfits start on the first line with Riley Smith, William Karlsson, Jonathan Marchessault. Gotta make sure of this. I know the Misfits were, just want to make sure of this, because this was truly a great moment. I think really what it showed was, that inaugural season, it hasn't gone forgotten. Like, that culture, the impact that season made, it's not been forgotten. Like, having Marchessault, Karlsson, Smith, McNabb, and Fedor all start, that was incredible. And the minute that happened, it's like, we're winning Game 5. We are crushing Florida in Game 5. And I want to shout out one of these reporters I know, Ken. He works for, he's the main writer of Sin Bin Vegas, which is a great publication that I follow, which surrounds the Golden Knights. I'm in, definitely the best up there with Jesse Granger, but like, he talked about it because he was at that game. He was at the first ever game for us, like, against the Coyotes, which was the first game that Vegas had at home, the home opener after the October 1 shooting. And he said that the crowd reaction in Game 5 was on the level of that first game. Like, and he never thought he would see a crowd reaction with the Golden Knights on that level of the emotional impact that that first game had. Like, that first game in our home game in our history, it's like, that was hearing that fact of how incredible that was. It's incredible because the entire city's watching, and God damn, that parade on Saturday is going to be incredible. I really cannot wait to at least find a way to go to that, because
I hope
God
you
damn, it's going to be
can.
crowded. But I think there's one more question that needs to be answered. That was talked about last season, and I even considered it last season. Was Vegas missing the playoffs in 2022 the best thing that could have happened to them?
100%.
I can answer it. Yep, 100% yes.
Yes,
Because we
yes.
don't make those trades without it. We don't fire Peter DeBoer and replace him with Bruce Cassidy without that. And genuinely, I can say it, we don't win a Stanley Cup without that. So, yeah, what a time to be alive as a Golden Knights fan.
Exactly
I
the
love
kick in the ass you needed.
Yep.
Sometimes Sometimes the greatest failures can lead to your biggest success.
Yep.
Did
That
your pastor teach you that one too?
No, it's the Brett Weiss quote from everything. From I don't know from
Well, just
what,
ask
but it
Tampa.
wasn't. Yeah, especially Tampa. Your greatest failures can often lead to your biggest successes. May not work for everybody, but for teams that really believe in that, who really can see that happen, it is something that is absolutely incredible to see.
So I'd say the summary of the NHL playoffs is this. Fuck you, Boston.
More overtimes. And.
Yep.
Never
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
old. Never get
Perfect
playoff
conclusion.
OT is just a fact. I love playoff OT. One goal, winner moves on. That is the way that all playoff games that have any sort of implication should always end off on. And speaking of which, hey, we did hit, for those who had said, we asked earlier, how long was this episode going to be? For those who hit the over, you were right. We did go over 3.5 hours.
Yep.
Holy shit.
we almost went, we're 4 minutes away from it being 4 hours long.
God damn.
Yeah,
Good
the
lord.
welcome. I thought the welcome mat was going to be like 10, 20 minutes. It went a full hour.
God, I went 50 minutes. Like,
Yeah, you wouldn't have
shit.
liked it, Aiden. You wouldn't have liked it.
Good thing.
Good thing. I still think you should like rewatch it later on, because there also brought some really good points. We all kind of collectively got together, and it was like we hate how it ends, but there's no generous billionaire in this world that is going to pay $4 billion for the A's. There's not one generous billionaire, which just sucks, because it's just another middle finger for that city that didn't really deserve it.
Yeah, I have so many things to say about John Fisher that will probably get me arrested if I say it. So.
We're just gonna leave it at that. Just gonna
Closing statements.
Yeah, closing statements. John Fisher, please sell the team, and we'll just leave it at that. Oh yeah, also reminder, watch along for the CFL will be on the server Sunday at 1 p.m. These games are going to be condensed, so it's probably going to be done in like about half the time it normally is.
Oh, but I had a closing statement to make.
Oh, make your close. What is it?
It's good to be back, back
Good
in
to
the
be back.
podcasting saddle.
Back in the saddle. Next episode won't be 4 hours long. It's not going to be 4 hours long.
I mean, if we somehow go 4 hours again on a podcast, something has gone horribly wrong.
Here's the thing.
Antonio Brown probably did a thing.
Oh shit, we didn't even get to Antonio Brown.
Let's just say another thing.
End the episode before we end up going 5 hours.
Yep. Anyways, we'll go get back to. Anyways, I was about to say, like, anytime we go over 2 hours, I feel like it's because we all have a really good discussion and a lot to talk about. I love those. I love those ones where you go really long. I think it was like our top 5 biggest, was it L's? Our L's of the year, that went 3.5 hours. That shit went 3.5 hours.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yep, that's.
Are we still live?
Yeah, we're still
Yeah.
live.
Oh shit.
Anyways, we probably should head out. We could just try to fill the space with 90 seconds to hit 4 hours.
Hey, anybody know any good songs like
No.
Whopper.
Whopper. Oh, also, Aiden, yeah, we're definitely doing a meetup in Vegas next XFL game. One of the XFL games that's at Cashman.
because they haven't moved to
They're not. They're confirmed to stay. They're confirmed to stay in Vegas. You know what that means? We're going to Cashman.
We're going to Cashman, baby.
We're going to Cashman.
Meet up.
We're doing the Sickos meetup next year. I'm asking Caitlin if she wants to be the 6th wheel. Like, we're gonna make that happen. The thing is too, like, I probably should have the money for it. It's at should. So it's at the levels of should.
So, stay tuned, folks.
Stay tuned. As for watch-alongs, it's going to happen if there's ever, like, our teams are playing against each other in, like, prime time, in, like, a prime time spot. So, aka.
So yeah, Niners Vikings is definitely going to be one of them.
Are they playing Monday night or Thursday night or Sunday night?
Monday night.
Monday night. Oh shit! I'm gonna make sure I get off of work early for that. Well, hopefully I won't be at fucking. Hopefully I won't be at a fucking pizza guy.
Fucking Pizza Planet.
Hopefully I won't be at Pizza Planet still by then. Hopefully I'm just out of that completely. And with that, we've hit the 4-hour mark. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Quick reminder, CFL Week 2 watch-alongs. That will be Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We would love to see you there. If not, hopefully we'll have another episode. We're going to be talking about our baseball teams and our minor leagues, too. What youngins are popping up. I have a lot to talk about our Mariners minors. I'm so happy. Until then, I will see you guys in the next episode. We're back because I've stopped working 50-hour work weeks. Da-da-da-ba-da-ba.